Hello, football fans, and welcome to McMahon Stadium for tonight's Canada West football matchup between the 0-2 University of Calgary Dinos and the 1-1 University of Alberta Golden Bears. It seems like it'll be a beautiful night for football, a little bit overcast here, and 22 degrees at kickoff. Stay tuned, kickoff up next here on TELUS Optic and Canada West TV. Welcome back to the broadcast booth here at McMahon Stadium. I'm Riley Pollock, joined by Drew Carpenter, and down at field level tonight we have Cami Kepke. Well, Drew, it was a tough loss for the Dinos last week and a heartbreaker there right at the very end. And on the other side, the Golden Bears pulled out a big win against the Bisons. What do the Dinos need to do against this Bears team to pick up that first win of the season?
Well, last week the name of the game for the Bears was big plays. They scored multiple long touchdowns on offense and forced multiple turnovers on defense. The Dinos, for their part, need to play fourth quarters. Seemingly they only showed up for one and almost made it happen. This week, if they can play a complete game and limit the big plays, we should have a balanced outcome.
Now we head down to field level with Cami, and there's really been two players on this Golden Bears team that have dominated on those big play categories so far. What do the Dinos need to do this tonight to stop them?
Well, they're going to have to play hard and stay on assignment. Alberta has done a good job of spreading out their offense, but last week Colby Herford just rose above the pack. The second-year receiver hauled in 3 touchdowns, plus another 202 yards on 4 receptions. Good enough to be named the Canada West Offensive Player of the Week, but his quarterback right there with him. Another second-year, Eli Hetlinger, completed 19 of 28 for more than 350 yards. Needless to say, the Dinos will have a tough task in stopping this rolling Alberta offense.
Well, that will do it for the pregame show. Thank you, Cami. We head down to field level now for the land acknowledgement and the national anthem, and then we're back for kickoff between the Dinos and Golden Bears.
As a graduate of the University of Calgary, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional territories of the People Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta, which includes the Blackfoot Confederacy comprising of the Siksika, Piikani, Kainai First Nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nations and the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley's First Nation. The city of Calgary is also home to Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3.
Drew, something else I noticed before we get to the anthem here is the move to the 3-4 that we saw from the Dinos, as that could be a big shift here for the defense, as it was a 4-3 to start the season.
I mean, it creates a completely different dynamic for your defense, but if you have the horses, you've got some strong interior D linemen and the linebackers to support. It's a setup that the Dinos have worked with for quite some time, and hopefully they'll have more success.
Now we go to the field level for the national anthem.
Our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
About to get underway here from McMahon Stadium. as the 0-2 University of Calgary Dinos look for their first win of the year. And it looks as though it will be the receiving team out to start the game. As Drew, it's kind of a now or never situation here for the Dinos. You just cannot go 0-3 to start a Canada West regular season.
Couldn't agree more. It's a short season with only 8 games, and you need to, get that monkey off your back and start moving in a positive direction. Now, for perspective, the Dinos, in theory, have played the 2 best teams in Canada West to start the season. So you'd like to think they have a little bit of opportunity to turn it around here.
Absolutely, and a surprising 2-0 for the Rams team that they just fell to last week. Those 2 top teams in the Huskies and Rams will also face off this weekend in Regina. So it's a big weekend of football, and a win tonight puts the Dinos right back in the thick of things as they'll kick off to start this game. As the 2 returners for the Golden Bears back right near their own goal line here. As Triambari approaches the ball, and we're underway here in Calgary, and they were right to do so to stand at the goal line as Triambari puts it into the end zone, and it is taken out. A big hit there at the 12-yard line to get things started, as it was number 33 Opie Oshinubi on the return, but he's taken down at the 13-yard line to start this game.
Yeah, personally, I'm not a big fan of bringing the ball out of the end zone once you've kind of fumbled it around a little bit. I think sometimes just conceding the point, taking the field position, especially to start the game, is the right decision, but we'll find out what the Bears can do with this.
Balance set here with a couple tight ends in for Alberta to start the game. Passing on first down out to the flats, and incomplete. Eli Hetlinger 0 for 1 to start this game as he was looking for number 4 Carter Kettle.
Yeah, it looks like the Bears are just looking for a quick hitter to get their timing down. Basically a run play, throwing the football quick out to the slot back, and just didn't have the timing quite right.
Dinos defensive backs looking to have a big game here, as a lot of the leaders on this team are in that defensive backfield on 2nd and long, and well offside here. That was number 20, Jackson Humey, and that's going to push them back even further, make it 2nd and very long for the Golden Bears.
The hard count usually refers to how loud the quarterback shouts a false hut call, not that it's a difficult thing to remember on offense.
Absolutely. 3 receivers, 2 Hetlingers right, 2 to the left. Shotgun set here. Hetlinger gets the snap. Looks to his right, now to his left, no one around. He's going to scramble in the end zone, throw it to the backside, and a catch made near the first down as Dakota McKay makes the catch. And it's gonna be close here. It looks like a first down, but they're gonna call in the chains here, Drew. But a nice scramble there from Hetlinger to make something out of nothing.
Yeah, and that looked like that was the target receiver the entire time. Really eyes focused on that deep corner route, an 8 route towards the sideline by the slot back. Dinos had good position over top, forced the receiver to come back, find the scrambling quarterback, and the Bears are able to convert on a play that really could have been all for naught.
Bringing out the sticks here. Well, it's going to be very close. I think they got it. And indeed they did. So 2nd and 15, the Golden Bears able to convert, and it's a first down at about the 23-yard line.
Yeah, so that's going to be confidence-inducing for the Bears. After throwing an incompletion, taking it offside, they're able to complete a difficult scrambling pass. You know, the Dinos expect to keep that ball short of the first down in such a 2nd and long situation.
Two tight ends in here again, shotgun form for the Bears. Handoff up the middle. Nowhere to go there. A big tackle made by number 6, Daniel Flanagan, who's in the backfield quickly.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that 3-4, and usually that's a personnel-driven decision. You got kind of two kinds of coaches, in my opinion. You got the coach that has the system and forces players to fit, and then you have the coach that has the players and makes the system fit with them. I think the Dinos, they have some strong defensive linemen, but they also have some great linebacking core. That was a good example there, pushing up the weak side.
Another second and long back at the 20-yard line. 4 receivers start to the right now. One motions over. Dropping back for the pass, looking deep, and a huge catch, one-handed made by number 84. It's Carter Kettle again, and it's another Bears first down into Dino territory.
Yeah, that's a big-time play right there. That looks like a next-level catch to me. You can see they run another 8-corner route and manage to get over top of the Dinos' defense. Really nothing to do but make a great play, and the Dinos need to do a better job of keeping these receivers underneath.
Not quite into Dino territory. They're stopped at their own 53-yard line, but a fresh set of downs here as 2 converted second and longs have pushed this drive further for the Bears. They throw again here on first, slant into the middle, and it's going to be another first down here for the Bears as Sabomi Oyasoro makes the tackle. And now a late flag comes in, a couple of them, and that could push the Dinos even further back.
Yeah, it looks like this is after the play, and this could be, something we see throughout the game when you got a battle of Alberta like this. Things can be
after
rough.
the play, we have objectionable conduct. Defense, number 4, 10 yards from the end of the play. First down.
So Sabomi Oyasoro makes the tackle and then takes the penalty, pushing the ball to the 34-yard line of the Dinos.
Yeah, not something the Dinos want to be doing early in the game. Bears are having some success here, completing passes and moving the football down the field. The Dinos need to calm down and get some momentum back their way.
4 receivers to the left of Hetlinger. Now the running back leaks out, and that's where the ball will go. A little screen pass there, and a flag in the backfield. We'll see what that is. Looks like Chevy Thomas made the catch and Deacon Taylor Young on the tackle. No infraction on the play here. So the screen pass works for almost 9 yards there on first down.
Yeah, well played by Alberta, making something happen after the caught football. Dinos need to do a job of keeping their head up, working that tackle, not leaving their feet lunging at toes.
Second and short here for the Golden Bears, who continue this strong opening drive. 12 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Snap comes, handoff up the middle, and again, nowhere to go. As it's number 9, Osasre Odemwingi, who in that first game we called didn't get a lot of defensive snaps, but made big impacts on special teams. Now in the 3-4, he's out there making plays.
Yeah, I think this is a sign of the type of athlete the Dinos have. Also saw Matt Lasician in there from the safety position. Dinos are bringing heat, looking to apply some pressure on the Bears, and if they are going to throw the football, force them to get rid of it early.
That makes it 3rd and medium here, and it looks like they're going to come out for the field goal. Jonathan Giustini from about 39 here, it looks like. Or, pardon me, 36. Bears looking to put the first points on the board here in this Canada West Football Battle of Alberta. The kick is up, and the kick is good. The Bears take a 3-0 lead with 11:27 to go. But Drew, after some of the big plays we saw, do you take that as a win as the Dinos do, or is there a lot to work on after that first drive?
Yeah, I think that was a constructive first drive, both ways, truthfully. Alberta made some plays, completed some passes, picked up the yardage we were talking about on the opening kickoff, questioning whether it was right to come out or not. The Dinos, for their part, a little bit of bend but don't break, let's say, where, allowing some movement downfield but forcing the field goal. Ultimately, I think Calgary has to be happy, starting out with 3 on the board and an opportunity for their offense to make something happen.
And starting quarterback tonight for the Dinos, Drew, number 10, Daniel Sananes, as he steps under center. Play action on first down, and he's going deep. Sananes throwing it, but just underthrew it, as it looked like he didn't get all of that one.
Yeah, I think that was just, designed right from the snap. Hey, we're going to take a shot here and see what happens. The trouble is you got to get rid of that ball quick. Unless you have an absolute cannon for an arm, you got to get it out in front of the receiver and let him catch it in full stride.
Sananes earned the start after a very good second half against the Rams last week, and he finished 15 of 23 for 197, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception late in that game as it's 2nd and long here for the Dinos. Sananas drops back again, and he's going to go deep again to the corner and just in and out of the hands of Zach Smith. And that'll bring up a 2-and-out and a punting situation for the Dinos.
It's a better example of getting the ball out early and getting it out in front of the receiver. At this level, you get your hands on it, you got to make the catch.
And now a punter that the Canada West is talking about. You don't hear that a whole lot, but the best punter so far through 2 games in the Canada West, number 18, Chris McLean, and he has 5 punts over 50, or pardon me, 10 punts over 50 yards through 2 games so far. McLean steps into this one. And as usual, a bomb here as he gets it down to the 15-yard line of the Bears. It's taken by number 20, Jackson Humey, and he gets around to the outside, but decent coverage there from the Dinos after such a long punt. The fact that he only got about 15 yards isn't too bad here.
Yeah, we talked about the kicking game extensively in week 1 because unfortunately there were a few bright spots for the Dinos. But yeah, Chris McLean is making it happen. The trouble with big kicks like that is it is tougher to cover. Of course, the Canadian field being so wide, lots of room. It creates lanes in between the coverage players, but ultimately a decent change in field position for the Dinos.
I believe that ball was almost 60 yards in the air. As the Golden Bears come out for their 2nd chance here, an offside free play here, as it looked like 52, Liam Reed jumped a little bit early there for the Dinos.
Yeah, it's the hard count working the way it's supposed to.
They did pick up about 7 yards on 1st down, so decision time now for the Bears, 2nd and 3 or 1st and 5.
Right offside. Defense, number 52. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
So they will go with the 1st and 5 from the 33-yard line here. And that makes it opens up a lot of the playbook when you 1st and 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Hetlinger has 3 to his left. Play action on 1st down. Pass on the crossing route. And a tackle made by number 3, Jacob Biggs, but not before another Golden Bear 1st down.
Yeah, Alberta really favoring the pass here in the first quarter. I mean, they had a lot of success throwing the football last week, so I can't say I'm surprised. Also, the Dinos have shown a little bit of weakness at times. You know, I think some of that is their inexperience despite having a relatively strong defensive backfield and defense as a whole.
3 receivers left, 2 to the right. 1st down here for the Bears from their own 40-yard line. They lead 3-0 early in this 1st quarter. Hetlinger takes a snap. It's a stretch play there and a better hole, as it looked like the ball almost came loose, but another late flag here after the whistle. Chimsy Tassi makes the tackle there after about a 4-yard
Unnecessary
gain.
roughness. Face mask. Defense, number 5. It's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the play.
Deacon,
1st down.
Deacon Taylor Young tacks on 15 yards to the end of that play, as certainly Wayne Harris not going to be happy with some of the longer penalties that they've accumulated so far.
Yeah, no, the Dinos definitely can't afford to do that. You know, they're in a position where they need to be playing good, clean, disciplined football.
1st down, Golden Bears. They're back in Dino territory from just outside the Calgary 50. 3 receivers right, 1 tight end in, rolling that way. And a pass to the flats is completed. Getting upfield is number 20, Jackson Humey. And it should be another Bears 1st down and another late penalty call here.
After the play. Unnecessary roughness. Calgary, number 92. It's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. 1st down.
Darius Redhead, the guilty party. That takes the ball down to the 25-yard line, Drew, and it's a little bit ugly here for the defense so far.
Seems like U of A can kind of do whatever they want, because whether they complete a pass or succeed on a running play or not, it doesn't really matter. Dinos are helping them out.
3 left, 2 right. Shotgun set here as the Golden Bears knocking on the door of the red zone. Hetlinger gets the snap. They're passing on first down. It's a screen and lots of space there inside the 10 down to the 4-yard line is number 33 Opie Oshinubi, and it's going to be first and goal for the Bears.
Yeah, we saw Saskatchewan a couple weeks ago have a lot of success with the screen pass, and when you've got a defense that's bringing a lot of pressure, that typically relies on a lot of pressure, you have that opportunity to dump it in behind those rushing linemen, rushing linebackers, and have a lot of open field to play with.
Two tight ends in here on the short yardage play, still in the shotgun. Handoff, and through the middle towards the goal line. Did he get in? Yes, he did. Opie Oshinubi, the first major of the night, and it's 9-0 Bears with 7:52 to go here in the first quarter.
Bears are playing a real efficient first quarter so far. Lots of success in the air and on the ground. Offensive line giving their quarterback time to throw and creating lanes for the running backs, pushing through. The Dinos need to close up those gaps and try to shorten up the gains from everything that the Bears are throwing at them.
And not a good sight here as Matthew Lasician down on the turf and was immediately grabbing at his knee on that touchdown. Really the leader of this defense and one of the few long-term Dinos that they have.
Yeah, exactly. One of the few truly experienced players, and no matter who's down on the field, you never want to see it, but especially when it's one of your leaders, that makes it a little more tough.
We just hope that Lasician is all right. Take another look here as that's the end of the play there.
Where he's grabbing there on his knee,
yeah,
leads me to believe that it's more of like a contusion type injury, maybe a helmet on the knee or something like that. If you get something on that patellar tendon, it can really hurt. It's pretty rare for any sort of like tearing or that sort of thing in that area of your knee. But
lower.
I'm no doctor, and I'm miles away from the play.
Looks like a couple players will help him off the field, but best wishes to Matthew Lasician, an absolute ball hawk for this Dinos team, and with such a young team, just certainly someone they can't afford to lose, but not putting a whole lot of weight on that leg as he goes off.
Yeah, the potential silver lining here is you get more young guys in and gather more experience. Football is typically a war of attrition. Unfortunately, the Dinos, that seemed to kick in right from the get-go this season. But, you have to work through this, and all teams do.
As we still await the extra point here for the Golden Bears, as two successful drives, two drives with points to start this game. And the last one ending with a touchdown. Extra point is good. 10-0, 7:52 to go here in the first quarter from McMahon Stadium. And Drew, I was going to ask you, but they were in the red zone, so I didn't want to get to it too quickly. But with this 3-4 as well, on a screen pass like that, is it a little more difficult because there's not as many eyes on the line? Because it looked like they saw what was coming after about a couple steps in, but they just couldn't get there with the short rush.
So I think it's two things. One, it's all about how many guys you're bringing, kind of regardless of your setup, whether it's 3-4 or 4-3. But two, it's not so much about seeing it as it is about feeling it. And when you're pushing upfield and you start to really feel that offensive lineman or running back, whoever's picking you up in the block, kind of let you go, that's got to be an indication to settle down a little bit and figure out what's going on.
Two returners back here for the Dinos, as they look to get some momentum going. A 2-and-out is all they have so far on offense. Two drives with points on them from the Golden Bears. Bears kick it off into the end zone as it's Deacon Taylor Young out of the end zone with some speed. Dodges one tackle, taken down as he's thrown towards the 20-yard line. That's where we will start. Number 42, Chase Pack, on the tackle.
Yeah, strong individual effort there on the tackle. Just pushed right around his blocker and made a play pretty much single-handedly.
The Dinos start from their 19-yard line. Two deep passes are all they have so far. Daniel Sinanis under center, 3 to his right, 2 to the left. Handoff on first down to Abrook. Abrook cuts through the middle. He's taken down after a medium gain of about 4 there on first down.
Yeah, and I think it's critical for the Dinos that they establish a bit of a run game here. They've, struggled this season through most facets of the football game, but one of the things that can help more than anything is just chipping away, running the football, tiring out the defense, absorbing some clock, letting the defense rest. Nothing bad comes from a strong run game.
So second and medium here, 3 to the right. In the pistol formation come the Dinos. Sananas tries to draw someone offside. With the hard count, they reset. Sananas gets the ball, fakes on the out, looking deep again. Dang goes up for it, makes the catch, and he's down into Golden Bear territory with a flag on the play. Dang's 20th reception of the season. He leads all of the Canada West in that category.
That was a great catch. Be interested to see what this flag is for, because Gobb did have to come over top of the defender to catch that football. However, it didn't look like the defender was turned facing, looking for the football. Exactly.
PI on the defense, number 5. That's Tyshawn Blackburn, but they'll decline it and take the yards, as Dino's not afraid to go deep so far.
No, and they do need to take their shots. But again, would love to see them getting back to establishing that run game, working the pass off of it.
Abrook behind Sananas here on first down. Sananas, handoff to Abrook. Pressure up the middle. He's taken down quickly. Number 40, Reese Flunder with the tackle, and another flag here on the play that came out after the whistle.
Yeah, this one comes out late and from in behind, so not exactly sure. I don't see any cheap shots.
Half the play. We have unnecessary roughness. Number 6, defense. It's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. First down.
Reggie Shopey with the penalty there, and Alberta takes one back.
Battle of Alberta. There is something to that. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but we see it. Edmonton, the Eskimos against the Stampeders, the Oilers against the Flames. There's something about Calgary and Edmonton. I don't know.
Absolutely. I'm sure the Colts and the Huskies and Wildcats don't have that much fun against each other either. First down and a draw play through the middle, but the Golden Bears bringing so much pressure that he just runs right into the arms, and it's going to be second and long.
Yeah, so Calgary's going to have to figure out Alberta's pressure package here, because they're having a lot of success bringing guys straight up the middle. So, there's ways to work around that, right? You can get the ball outside, quick hitters to your receivers, and really, try to work the edges a little bit.
Second and long for the Dinos from the Alberta 42-yard line. Sananas catches the snap. Blitz coming. He steps into the pocket, has room and a receiver, and stumbling down, but was it enough for a first down? As it's Dang again, and he will indeed have enough for a first down, but he might have had a touchdown had he not stumbled there.
Well, unfortunately, the ball ended up a little bit behind him, so he really had to open up his shoulders and reach back. A great catch. Not easy to make at all. You'll see him really pull back with his right arm here and try to get his shoulders open to find the football. But you're right. If it's out in front, he's got plenty of room to run and has an opportunity for a touchdown. Nice
job there by Sananas to climb that pocket as well as it collapsed around him and find the open receiver. Another first down here at the 26-yard line. 2 in the backfield, 1 leaks out. Sananas looking again over the middle, looking for a receiver. Catch made just outside the goal line as number 89, Ben Britton, makes the catch at the 1-yard line. It's first and goal, Dinos.
Yeah, just another great catch. This time leading the receiver, which is kind of what you want to see, because as much as it's difficult to lay out for football, I would argue it's much easier to lay out than it is to reach back. Great job by the Dinos moving the football on this drive. Let's see if they can convert.
3 in the backfield. Sananas under center. Sananas hands off to Abrook. Abrook battling towards the goal line. Does he have it? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Dinos. It's Ben Abrook, and it's 10-6.
Yeah, this is going to be huge for the Dinos' confidence, because Alberta has absolutely dominated this first quarter so far. To see the Dinos march right downfield, execute on the run, complete some tough passes, and ultimately score a touchdown, get themselves right back in this football game.
Abrook was stopped short of the goal line, but just stretched that ball out enough to get it across the line and get the first major of the season here on home turf for the Dinos. Triambari with the kick. Triambari is good. The Dinos trail by 3 now, 10-7 with 4:08 to go here, Drew. We got a football game.
We do, and this is kind of what I was alluding to at the beginning of the game, that if the Dinos can play a 4-quarter game, play some discipline, and limit Alberta's big plays, which they have so far, you're going to have a relatively tight battle. That said, Alberta has shown that they can be effective moving the football methodically, and so the Dinos really just need to stop taking these big penalties, and you might have actually a different score on the board.
Sanana's 3 for 3, 78 yards there on that drive, and that's got to build confidence for the young man who didn't exactly have his best game in his first attempt here at McMahon Stadium, but was also playing the University of Saskatchewan Huskies.
Yeah, and coming in, alternating with Spallettini. I mean, that's never easy. But we did see shades of brightness, and, you know, last week he obviously put it together in the fourth quarter and make things happen.
Jackson Hume back to return, as he stands about a yard into his own end zone. And the Dinos go the other way with it this time. 2:33, that's the running back, Oshinubi. And he reverses all the way to the other side of the field, has a little bit of space. A good wrap-up made there by number 32. That's Abrook, who just scored the touchdown down there on special teams, making a play.
Yeah, so it looked like U of A had a bit of a design play there, starting it upfield on the short side and then working out to the wide side. Just didn't time up quite right. They had the blocks initially, but then the pocket there, the holes collapsed, and the Dinos were able to rally to football and limit the gains.
So the Golden Bears will start from their own 16-yard line. Long fields have not been a problem for them so far. Shotgun snap. Play action on first down, pass to the outside. Is it caught? Yes, it is. As number 20, Jackson Hume with the catch. About 7 yards on first down. That'll make it second and short.
Yeah, if you're a Bears fan, you love seeing that. If you're a Dinos fan, you actually don't mind, because you're not going to get beat on quick outs.
2nd and 3 here, 3:20 to go here in the first quarter. 2 tight ends in for the Bears. Play action again, shovel pass underneath, caught from behind though, and it's not going to be enough as Daniel Flanagan in there causing trouble once again. The shovel pass to Ope Oshinubi, not enough. It's going to be a long 2, maybe 3 yards, and the punting unit's going to come out.
Yeah, and I think that's a better example of patience by the Dinos interior group. They push upfield, feel things relax, similar to screen pass, shovel pass, trying to get it underneath and in behind that first rush. Well played by the Dinos interior.
The first punt of the evening, as Matt Sibley back to return here. Punt is away. A sidewinding kick caught right at midfield. Sibley has it, looking for a lane outside. Not much room, but a good job just to get up under it and give the Dinos good field position right from midfield here for their third drive.
Yeah, a bit of a knuckleball off the kicker's foot. Not exactly what you want for depth downfield, but the trade-off is you're not going to get much of a return on a short kick like that, so it really mutes things. I think at the end of the day, the Dinos win in field position.
The Dinos looking for more here. They trail by 3 with 2.5 to go in the first quarter. Sanana's in the pistol, 3 receivers to his right, tight end to his left. Play action on first down. Sanana's looking for an outlet. Can't find his intended receiver, number 89, Ben Britton. I think there's just a little miscommunication there. Sanana's wanted him to sit a little bit. Britton took a couple more steps to the inside.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, plenty of time to throw it, see what's going on. At the end of the day, we talk about inexperience. Part of that comes to the communication between quarterbacks and receivers, especially when you're swapping quarterbacks in and out, not sure who's going to start, etc. It takes a while to develop those relationships.
2nd and long here from midfield for the Dinos. Sanana's in the shotgun, drops back, looks to far side out, to the outside. One move made, another made, working towards a first down. It's going to be just short as Zach Smith gains about 9. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, just a strong individual effort. Catching that football and turning it upfield immediately, making 2 guys miss. Well, 1.5, let's say. It'll be interesting to see what the Dinos choose to do here.
Looks like the offense will stay on the field.
1 and just about 2.5.
2.5? That's 2.5 broken tackles on the play. So, short yardage unit comes in here. Sanana's under center, 3 in the backfield. They split. Sanana's battling towards the line. I'm not sure he got it. His helmet ripped off at the end of the play. It's going to be close, Drew, but not a very good push here for the Dinos.
No, and I think part of that's on the quarterback. In my experience, you run into sneak, you get up in there immediately. There's a little bit of hesitation and working laterally, and that just gives the defense time to gather themselves.
He was met right in the hole there by number 41, Jason Brown. And they're going to measure, but I think they needed all of the 45-yard line, and I'm not sure that they got it. They're going to measure, and it's going to be a first down for the Golden Bears.
Looked like that was fractions of an inch.
Yeah. That's a tough break for the Dinos, who looked like they're putting 2 back-to-back drives together. But now the Golden Bears come out here with 1:08 to go in the first quarter, looking to build on their lead.
Ultimately, so far, I'm seeing much more disciplined football from Alberta than I am from Calgary, and I think that's fundamentally the difference.
I mean, it's a play you have to go for there, but just not the push you wanted, and not the drive from the quarterback there. Just a couple more inches needed. 3 receivers to the right here, 2 tight ends in. Play action on first down, pass to the flat, caught by number 12, Chevy Thomas, and he'll get about halfway to a first down, maybe a little less.
Good initial break by the Dinos defensive back, right up on the receiver, but coming in high for the tackle and getting slipped. You got to break down, be under control when you're making tackles. Really focus on the offensive player's hips, wrap them up tight.
Second and just over 4 yards here. A roll to the left. Pass to the outside. Caught up high and knocked out of bounds. There was number 88, Colby Herford, who we've heard a lot about from last week. 3 touchdowns on 4 receptions.
Yeah, this kid's clearly an athlete. He's got good hands and gets to the spot when he needs to. He runs the deep out there, and it's just timed up well. Ball's a little high, goes up and makes a great catch.
Handoff on the play, through the middle, not a whole lot again. Another flag comes in as we head down to the sidelines with Cami Kepke as she talks with Ben Abram.
We're down with Ben Abrams, scored the first rushing touchdown and the first touchdown at McMahon Stadium this season. What does that do for your team's confidence right now?
So much. It's good for the O-line. We're getting some push. It's looking a lot better out there. We're coming along, so I think that helps us a lot in a team sense.
You built some great momentum at the end of that Regina game. What was the message from Coach ahead of a huge Battle of Alberta?
It was all throughout the week. We had a great week of practice. It was work hard, get ready. We're a good team. We're young. We can do it. We know we can. So, yeah, it was nice to see it all come together. The message was go out there, be physical, play fast, and that's what we're trying to do.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Cami. As on the last play from scrimmage there, a tripping call against the Golden Bears. You don't see that a whole lot, Drew.
Yeah, that's a rare one for sure.
So it will be 1st and 20 for the Golden Bears here. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. A passing play on first down. Not a whole lot of room, and now running is Hetlinger, and he has plenty of space. Hetlinger around the outside, Hetlinger to the 30, and pushed out of bounds inside the 30. Makes something out of nothing once again. A great rush as Ajayi pushes him out of bounds.
Yeah, initially the Dinos looked like they were executing well on that play. They were over top, forcing a bit of a coverage sack situation, but then then the Alberta quarterback turns that into a huge gain because we end up with a complete over pursuit of the defensive unit.
Well, they're not hers.
And that will do it for the first quarter of action. The Bears moving the ball pretty well. They lead the Dinos 10-7 here on TELUS Optic and Canada West TV.
I've got that blue sky, I've got that sunshine.
To understand the impact Andrew Buckley had on Canada West football, one only needs to open up the conference record book. The former Calgary Dino wrote his name up and down its pages, most notably breaking the CW and U Sports passing and completion percentage records. But it wasn't just individual greatness Buckley achieved. The Calgary Alberta product is a 3-time Canada West champion. The hometown quarterback was named the best university football player in the nation, not just once, but twice in his career. Buckley was as impressive off the field as he was on it. He repeated as the Canada West Student Athlete and Russ Jackson Award winner in 2013 and 14, becoming the first ever athlete to win the Crichton and Jackson Awards in the same season. Buckley went on to get drafted by the Calgary Stampeders after he was accepted into medical school.
Welcome back inside at McMahon Stadium. I'm Riley Pollock with Drew Carpenter. And Drew, a better first quarter than we saw the first time we were here this season, but still a few too many penalties probably for the Dinos as we head into the second quarter.
Yeah, we've seen it both ways, but ultimately, this is playing out more or less like I expected, and I think it fits into my prediction that, disciplined football is going to win this game. Ultimately, the Bears are proving to be slightly more disciplined than the Dinos, but, you take a look at the scoreboard. It's relatively close. Yardage, the Bears are having a little more success, but they've been much more methodical, just moving the football down the field, pass, run, you name it.
As we get set here, the Golden Bears are knocking on the door once again. Hetlinger 11 for 12 for 123 in that first quarter as a handoff up the middle. Spinning to near the 25-yard line is Oshinubi, and he'll get about 3 on first down.
I always find that the 3-yard gain is like the over-under line on a running play, right? Right at 3 yards. It's kind of a neutral result. The offense did what they needed to do, and so did the defense.
Second and long here for the Golden Bears. Hetlinger in the pistol, 3 to his right. Play action, and Hetlinger rolls out to his left, throws the ball underneath, and that's going to be enough for another Golden Bears first down as Hetlinger can do it in the pocket. He can do it on the run as well.
Yeah, he's clearly a creative football player. He's making things happen with his feet, but he's patient. He's waiting for his receivers to adapt. He's not throwing the football or choosing to run too quickly.
Hetlinger from Harry Ainley in Edmonton. In his second season has really stepped into the spotlight here for this Golden Bears team so far. Play action on first down, looking into the end zone, to the back of the end zone. Hetlinger in a big defensive play there, but they're going to throw a flag for pass interference as Gideon Aguirre in the back of the end zone stumbled and then got a hand on the receiver.
Yeah, one of the challenges with having a physical football player in pass coverage is they tend to maybe have a little less control of their bodies at times. Really unfortunate for the Dinos as the safety came across and was able to make a play on the football.
Foul occurred in the end zone. Ball placed on the 1-yard line.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for the trip because I think he was in pretty good defensive position until his feet failed him. So, first and goal from the 1 here as the foul occurred in the end zone. Hetlinger goes under center, jumps over the top. No indication yet. And And I believe he came up short here. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line.
Yeah, so this is just an example of the defensive line getting underneath the offensive line, not allowing them to get a push, taking their legs out, and the quarterback's kind of got nowhere to go.
2nd down here from the 1. Hetlinger under center again, tries another jump, and he's met at the top of the pile, and I don't think he got in.
No signal yet. Definitely looked like he was stopped short, but hard to see the football all the way up here.
And it was Reed that met him at the top of the pile. No way, says Reed, and it is 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. The Dinos D looking to make a stand.
U of A's going for it, though. They want to maintain the strength and momentum that they've had so far in this game.
Will it be another jump over the pile here? Hetlinger takes the ball, runs around to the outside, and he is into the end zone. We have flags on the play, usually an indication that the defensive line lined up offside, but a touchdown for the Golden Bears. They lead 16-7 with 12:23 to go in the 2nd quarter.
It's a
smart play call by Alberta. You know that Dino's D-line is geared up to come across and try to stop him for a 3rd time, take advantage of that aggressiveness. It's similar to a screen pass or a shovel. Let them really come, wait for the hole to open up, and then hit it.
We have offside. Defense, number 3. That penalty's declined. Touchdown.
Hetlinger now 12 of 13 for 136, 37 yards along the ground to go along with a rushing touchdown. As the Golden Bears look to go up 10 here with the extra point. Giustini in to make the kick. Listed as a defensive back. They don't have a kicker listed on their roster, but looks like he does pretty well as he puts it into the 3rd level of the alumni lounge there at the back of the end zone, Drew. So maybe he can play defensive back and kick.
Those are the athletes that I love playing with. Played with a guy named Steve Hughes, and he was a tremendous running back, had a cup of coffee with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, but he was primarily a tremendous kicker. And that combination of athletics, when you can have someone that can kick the football and potentially go down and make a tackle, really provides an advantage.
Well, a player I think of too, John Ryan, I believe, played for the University of Regina Rams. As we head down to field level here, Cami Kepke has an update.
All right, we're having some camera issues here on the Alberta side, but we're here with Eli Hetlinger, who just found the end zone after another massive drive. What does that do for your team, just to have that creativity to find different ways to get in the end zone and overcome that goal line stand?
Yeah, just we all trust each other, so we all know that whoever gets an opportunity is going to make a play. It was a team effort, and it feels good for the team right now.
It's been a traditionally lopsided rivalry with UFC, but you guys have been tipping the scales back lately. Does that add some extra juice to this rivalry?
Yeah, we just kind of focused on ourselves. You know, the rivalry's a rivalry, but we're just focused on everything internally on our team, and yeah, that's all we're focused on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Cami, down at field level with Eli Hetlinger after his touchdown. As a little bit of miscommunication there on the return, Drew.
Yeah, and then we had an opportunity here with a hole opening up, and then boom, runs into his own player.
So the Dinos will start from their own 18-yard line. They trail by 10 here. Plenty of time to go, 12-17 to go in the 2nd quarter. 2 in the backfield here with Sananas. Handoff on 1st down. The first look we get at the running back, Javier Williams, and he was met in the hole, Drew.
Unstoppable force meets an immovable object. That was a huge pop. Heard it loud and clear up here. Classic football.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 18-yard line for the Dinos. Looking to get some momentum back there after not getting the first down on a 3rd and 1 that led directly to that Golden Bears touchdown. Sananas with 3 to his left, 2 to his right. Williams in the backfield. Sananas, plenty of time, throws it underneath. And a beautiful catch made for the first down by Matt Sibley down near the 40-yard line.
Yeah, you said it right. Plenty of time. You need time for those deep crossing routes to develop. You've got a bit of an over-under. They're running the receiver from the short side underneath to clear out, try to suck the linebackers up, and then bring in the slot back in behind in the soft spot of that zone.
First down to work with here for the Dinos. They're at the 39-yard line. 3 to the left, 2 to the right in the pistol form. Williams stays in the backfield, gets the ball here on first down. Williams finds a bit of a hole out towards the 45-yard line, and he'll get at least halfway to another first down.
Dinos continue to mix it up. Try to remain a little bit unpredictable, working into a hurry-up offense here.
Indeed they do, right back at the line. 2nd and 5. Sananas directing from the line of scrimmage, gets the snap, and it's a draw play here to Williams, and he is wrapped up again in the backfield by number 41, Jason Brown. And that is going to make it 3rd and long and a punting situation here for the Dinos.
Yeah, good disciplined tackle by the defender there, really breaking down, forcing the running back to make a choice. Easier said than done. Of course, I'm up here and removed from the play, but I think if he moves back inside towards his protection, he might be able to shed that tackler and turn that into a positive gain.
Jackson Hume back to return for the Golden Bears. Chris McLean stands at his own 23-yard line, ready to fire one away. McLean gets the snap cleanly. And another bomb there. That's going to be over the head of the returner down to the 5-yard line, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds just outside the 15. Flag comes in late. It might have been a block in the back, so the Golden Bears might be pushed way back here to start the drive.
Absolutely booming kick, but great job by the returner to go back, catch that over the shoulder, and turn it into some positive yardage. But at the end of the day, likely negated, as you mentioned.
Yeah, Humes made a couple nice catches over the shoulder on some McLean punts. He's going to have to start standing about 70 yards from the line of scrimmage so he can run up on a ball.
Waiting a block on the receiving team, number 12. Half the distance from the point ball held. First down.
I've never talked so much about a punter in my entire life, Drew, but I mean, he kicks the ball so well. He's for sure out kicking the averages of CFL kickers right now.
I'd be absolutely blown away if he did not get a look at the next level. He's got the consistency. He also is a pretty big, strong kid. Again, talking about guys that might be able to make a tackle in a bad situation.
So Hetlinger stands at about his own 1-yard line. Could have been offside on the play. A big hit and pass completed. That's going to be enough for a first down as Carter Kettle makes the catch, and kind of surprised they didn't just blow that one down, as the defensive lineman was already through the O-line before the ball was snapped, and he laid a lick on Hetlinger.
I was also holding my breath for unnecessary roughness, late hit on the quarterback.
Outside. Defense, number 4. That penalty's declined. First down.
Sabomi Oyasoro, little guilty party, but he made the 5 yards worth it as he planted Hetlinger there as he threw the ball.
Yeah, it was pretty bang on the release there, but you know, they're so sensitive to that sort of roughness these days.
Two in the backfield here for the Golden Bears. Handoff on first down. Not much room to work with there for Oshanubi, as it'll be about a 4-yard gain there. It'll be 2nd and medium. Daniel Flanagan on the tackle.
The front lines both ways are really having a battle here. Just lots of pushing and banging. You know, that's a run by committee, I would say. You know, everyone's just pushing the ball forward, pushing their guys forward, and just trying to make something happen.
Yeah, you take out the Hetlinger long scramble run there, and 4 total rush yards between the two teams. As a scramble play from Hetlinger on 2nd down, and he slides. Interesting to see where the spot is here. As another injury on the play to the Dinos. But I believe they've signaled for a first down. The sticks have moved anyway. I never saw a signal. But another Dino down here.
Yeah, it looks like he was clear by a good 1 or 2 yards. Hetlinger's a playmaker. The thing I like is he is standing in the pocket and making throws given the opportunity, but he's not afraid to move around. He seems to have really good feel for when he needs to actually tuck the ball and run with it. We've only seen it a couple times. For the most part, he's always looking for the pass right up into the last moment.
Chimsy Tassi, the injured Dino, as he slowly makes his way off the field. Hope that he's all right. Not sure where he's feeling it, as it looks he is not walking with too much of a limp. As we get back to the action, 32-yard line for the Golden Bears. They have 2 tight ends in, 3 receivers out wide. Play action on first down, looking deep to the corner, coming up with the catch. Wow, what a beautiful ball there as Dakota McKay makes the catch, but Hetlinger just puts that right in the wheelhouse, but it looks like it might be coming back.
Yeah, that's a near perfect throw. We've got decent coverage. The receiver manages to get over top on that corner route, which Alberta's loved today, but just boom, right in the breadbasket. No one can reach that. Absolutely perfect, but all for naught.
Holding on the play, so that will negate all of it. Jordan Chisda even came off of his own man to try and make a play there. Just couldn't quite get there, but won't count on the stat sheet despite being a very nice throw. It's going to be 1st and 20 from the 22-yard line here for the Golden Bears, who haven't really had trouble with long situations to go so far in this one.
No, they've been pretty effective. It'll be interesting to see if the Dinos continue to bring pressure or if they may back off and keep things in front of them.
Hetlinger gets the snap, play action again. Blitz coming, pass underneath to the running back, Oshanubi. He's wrapped up quickly near the 25-yard line, and it'll be a gain of about 3 as Nathan Tights makes the tackle along with Sabomi Oyasoro.
Yeah, certainly not enough for what Alberta needs to do to really try to convert here in the now second and long situation. But, you know, the Dinos are showing that they can get to the football, but I'm still not seeing great initial tackling skills. Seeing a lot of guys diving for feet, not maintaining their positioning. You know, there's still lots of room for improvement.
And running back Ope Oshanubi down on the field now, as looks like maybe a left leg that they're working on there.
Yeah, again, I didn't see anything specific, but it looks like we'll get a replay here and get to maybe see what happened. So you can see he dodged the, leaving their feet. He gets just kind of wrapped up and awkward. Yeah. But he looks like to be walking off under his own power, so hopefully just temporary.
Oshanubi, the first tackle of first touchdown, of the game, as he walks off under his own power. Hopefully we'll be able to see him back before too long, as it's going to be 2nd and about 17 here for the Golden Bears. They lead the Dinos 17-7 with 7:33 to go in the second quarter. Two tight ends stay in here on 2nd and long, as screen pass to the outside, and there's room to work with here. Working towards the sticks, didn't quite get enough, was number 18, Michael Delgado, but it's going to be maybe 3 yards to go here. They're going to come out with the punt.
Yeah, you'll see Subimi Oyasoro here on the left. Needs to stay to the outside, force that runner back inside where he has help. The offensive line doing a great job keeping him locked up, though.
So the Dinos just do enough to get the punt unit out here. They trail by 10. Kicking from about the 41-yard line is the line of scrimmage. A nice punt there. Caught at the 33-yard line, right up the middle with some room, and just unable to avoid the second tackle there was Matt Sibley, but I think if he breaks that one, he's still running.
Yeah, it looked like some open field, but ultimately that was a pretty balanced punt return. Decent depth, reasonable coverage. When you're returning the ball somewhere between 5 and 10 yards, that's a pretty reasonable average for a punt return.
Sanana's back out there, 5 for 8 for 108 yards so far in this one. As he starts with 3 receivers to his right in the pistol formation, 1 tight end on the line. Williams in the backfield. Play action, pass underneath, out of the reach of Dang. And that's just a high percentage pass that you have to make there on first down.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned that, because I think most people definitely assume, you know, it's a short pass, it's relatively simple. But when you're running away from the quarterback like that at short distance, there's actually very little room for error laterally. And it can make for awkward catches in behind you or way up over top.
Second and long here from the 40-yard line. Sanana's blitz coming. He steps outside the pocket, spins away from one man. Sanana's wrapped up. The ball might be loose. The Bears say they have it.
It looked to me like he was down before the ball came out. But nonetheless, one of those situations where you need to just try to gather yourself and heave that ball towards the sideline.
Yeah, delayed blitz came, and Sanana's had nowhere to go as he escaped the first tackle, but he's wrapped up, and it's going to be third down from the 27-yard line here, as the Dinos, since being unable to gain first down yardage on that third down, really haven't got anything going. But another injury on the field here, as that's Reese Flunder, the linebacker, down at about the 42-yard line.
Yeah, we've had quite a few injured players. For the most part, it looks like it's, you know, winded, hurt, not injured, which is good. I think it's a testament to how aggressive these teams are playing, how physical it is on the field. You know, you do get banged up.
Dinos punt unit ready to kick the ball away once again. Just the third punt of this first half. That one an end-over-end kick that drops right into the arms of the returner, Hume, and he's knocked down quickly just near the 50-yard line.
Yeah, one of the few misses we've seen from Chris McLean. Good return by the Bears. Dinos had an opportunity to stop it short, but again, undisciplined initial tackles. I think that was Subome Oisoro just coming head down, flying through, instead of breaking down and controlling the returner.
The Golden Bears start from their own 49-yard line. 6 minutes to go in the half. They lead by 10. Etlinger takes the shotgun snap, play action on first down, looking into the flats, and just in and out of the hands of number 23. That's Chris Noah Mushenza that just missed that interception.
Yeah, the outside linebacker there manages to just float back towards the receiver, get underneath the pass. You know, it's not always easy intercepting a football when you're on defense, because you're not necessarily expecting it to come to you, but you got to make those plays in a close game.
Second and long here for the Golden Bears from just inside their side of half. Etlinger drops back, looks to the flat. That ball just out of the reach of the receiver. The Dinos defense does their job, and they're going to force the punt unit to come out on 2 straight plays here.
Yeah, working a timing route on the short side, bit of a dropout. Receiver pushes upfield like he's going to run a fade and then drops out to the sidelines. Not an easy one to time up, especially when you got pass rushers in your face.
Sibley back on the return. Nathan Kozowski will kick it away for the Golden Bears from his own 49-yard line. Pressure coming, but the kick is away. It's a high punt, relatively short, no yards on the play, as Sibley taken down about the 33-yard line, but they're going to get a no yards call.
Yeah, that punt really hung up, which allows the coverage team time to get down, but you really got to focus on where's that returner, the guy with
no
who's
yards.
facing you with his
Kicking
eyes
team,
up.
number 42. It's a 15-yard penalty from point of possession. First down.
I mean, I want to say easier said than done, but these are things you practice and you prepare for. It's one thing to take the new yards when the ball hits the ground. I've always said I'm an advocate for just tackling the guy and taking the 5-yard penalty, but 15 is a different story.
And we have a change at quarterback here for the Dinos as Matteo Spolatini under center for the first time tonight. 2 tight ends in. Spolatini hands it off on first down around the outside. A decent gain there of about 4 yards. As it was Javier Williams there on first down, but it'll be about 2nd and 7 here, Drew.
Curious to find out if this is just a change of pace, bringing Matteo in, or if Sinanis managed to get hurt, because he did get hit pretty hard on his last possession.
Looks like Sinanis still standing right beside the head coach across the field on the sidelines there. They've done it all season long here as we get to 2nd and 7. Spolatini rolls out to his left, looking deep on the corner route. The pass complete to number 2, Zach Smith, well into Golden Bears territory at the 31-yard line.
We got a bit of an over-under coverage on the wide side of the field there with the corner down low and the safety over top. And Spolatini just managed to find his receiver in between the two. Great throw. Again, outside towards the sidelines, away from the defender. Excellent catch to finish the play.
That's a nice ball there from Spolatini coming in. First throw of the night as the Dinos get cooking here. Handoff on first down through the middle. That's Williams again. He's got some space, and he's going to gain about 6 on first down, Drew, as the Dinos, a little bit of shot in the arm here with Spolatini in under quarterback.
Yeah, I'm thinking that was a design play right off the bat. Come in, throw it deep, get the arm stretched out, and get excited. On that run play, we saw a good push by the O-line and a really patient run by the running back, letting things develop, finding his hole, working his way through.
3:15 to go here in the half. The Dinos trail by 10, but they are looking to put some points on the board on this drive. Spolatini in the pistol set. Williams behind him. Drops back. Passing to the out and complete. And they're going to be just shy of the first down, it looks like, as it's going to bring up 3rd and short. Is not sure on the spot there. It looked like he made the catch past the sticks and then was driven back.
Now, this is an example of what to do and what not to do. So coming back to the football, attacking it, getting a separation from the defender, that's what you want to do, but you got to know you're down in distance. Ultimately, this route should have been pushed another 2 yards or so upfield to allow you to tack back to the football and still gather the first down.
And it looks like it will be long enough. It's about 1.5 yards that they need here on 3rd down. Triambari going to come out here and try to bring this game within 7. 31-yard field goal here.
It's coming wide right.
As the snap back, Triambari steps into it, and he's going to miss to his left for a single point. So now with 2:38 to go in the second quarter, the Bears lead the Dinos by a score of 17-8.
Yeah, it looks like he just hooked it, which usually means he's not bringing his hips through the football and attacking it straight on. Oftentimes getting your leg out a little bit, bringing it around. You know, it's all about the hips, right? Doesn't matter what you're doing in sports. It's all about the hips, lining them up. In this case, bringing them right through the football.
So the Bears will get the ball at their own 35-yard line. Plenty of time to work with here. There's a little bit of confusion now on the field. As the refs slowly walk towards each other to gather.
Nothing but time. Nowhere to be. You know, I will give them credit though. This game and last game, we've seen one flag picked up and waved off. Against Saskatchewan, we saw multiple. At least they're communicating. They're trying to do things right.
Pistol form here, now moves to the shotgun. 3 receivers to his right, couple tight ends in. They're going to go around to the short side, and there's some room around the outside, battling for a first down as Michael Delgado He's going to be about a yard short as he's pushed out of bounds, but an interesting formation there as they just set the edge and try to get to the outside.
Yeah, good job by the running back here being patient, waiting for that first defender to pick a side. Unfortunately, he picks the inside instead of the outside leverage like he should have, allows the runner to bounce.
Biggs makes a pretty large tackle there. Otherwise, it could have been even more yards, but the plunge up the middle looks to have been successful for the first time tonight for the Golden Bears, as they should have enough for a first down.
Yeah, there's something about short yardage, kind of in this middle towards your end versus on the goal line, right? Everyone's a little more hyped up towards the goal line.
Ettlinger still 2:20 to work with here in the second quarter and a 9-point lead. Two receivers to his left, 2 tight ends in once again. Ettlinger drops back, plenty of time, looking way downfield, wide open, and into the end zone goes number 8, Colby Herford, his 4th touchdown in the last 2 games, and drew another big play for these two.
Yeah, these are the plays that we said that the Dinos needed to avoid. I think this is a miscommunication, or probably more appropriately, a lack of communication by the Dino defenders, completely leaving the receiver wide open, and a guy that you should have eyes on at all times. So we'll see over the top. We got a little bit of a cross route. So he runs the fake corner back to the post, completely forgotten about. You know, just not what you want to see from the Dinos, but as a Bears fan, you got to be excited.
Yeah, this is a big connection, and it continues to grow here. Both second-year players, Drew. A lot of growing these two can do together over the next few years. As the Bears tack on the extra point, they lead 24-8. As Cami Kepke has the latest touchdown score down on the sidelines.
Well, we're down here with the Canada West Offensive Player of the Week, and as we just heard him say a moment ago, another day at the office.
It is. Eli found me again deep. Just going out there for a run. Felt good again. We're back.
What have you guys done to foster such a strong connection this early in the season?
I've known this guy for a long, long time. He's been my friend for a while. Just our O-line also protecting, giving Eli time to find me downfield. It's been great.
The Dinos got you guys on a couple of 2-and-outs. What does it mean to you to swing the momentum like that right before half?
It's huge for us. We came out there, just couldn't get it clicking right there in the last 2 drives, but we're back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cami, and clearly the connection between these two goes beyond just this season, as you heard there. So 24-8 lead here, Drew, and if you're the Dinos, you got to be thinking we have to put some points up on the board in the last 2 minutes here.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if it's just 3 something to get some confidence back going into the locker room.
Bears approach the ball on the kickoff, and that's a deep one. Backing into the end zone around the outside, breaking 1 tackle through the middle and over the 20-yard line goes Deacon Taylor Young as he battles his way almost to the 25 there, Drew. A good return, and now a penalty. A couple flags come out late.
Yeah, we may actually have 2 against Alberta here. Things are getting chippy for sure. But a great return by the Dinos. The gunner from Alberta there ran right past the returner. You know, another example of discipline, be patient, break down. That could have been a much shorter return, much better coverage situation for Alberta. But these guys are fired up. You know, they're up, they're excited, they're on the road. Can't say I'm surprised to see that level of intensity and fire.
As the refs get together, let's hear the call.
Play. We have rough play, disqualification, number 5, Calgary. It's a 25-yard penalty. First up.
Wow. Deacon Taylor Young.
Definitely didn't see that coming. All I saw was the second flag, one of the Dinos getting thrown off of the pile, and I was assuming that was part of it, but apparently not.
So Deacon Taylor Young, disqualification penalty there, and that's going to take him right back to the 1-yard line because there's no half the distance on penalties like that.
Extremely rare to see a player ejected in university football. I can't remember ever witnessing that. Player, coach, broadcaster, you name it.
This really puts a damper on the opportunity for the Dinos to put some points on the board here with 1:52 to go. Trailing by 16 here as Spallettini comes right back out. Williams in the backfield with them. Abrook back there as well. As they are escorting Taylor Young off the field. So not the ending to the quarter the Dinos want, but they still have a chance to change it up. There's plenty of time to work with still here, but got to get out of the shadows of their own goalpost with a couple nice plays to start the drive. 2 in the backfield. Spallettini hands it off to Williams on first down. He gains a couple of yards near the 3-yard line, and it'll bring up 2nd and long.
Well, this is a small but great opportunity for Mateo to, show us what he's made of. He can really, choose to take things into his hands and try to make some plays. 2nd and long situation coming out of your own end is not easy, but, that's the difference between good and great.
Absolutely. 2nd and long here for the young quarterback. Time to work with to get into at least field goal range. As University of Alberta have taken a timeout here, looking to stop them and put more points on the board before half.
Yeah, can't say I blame him. Smart decision by the coach. Also forces the Dinos to just think about things a little bit more. I feel like in this situation, it's almost the equivalent to icing a kicker because, you just want to get out of your end. Let's get this over with.
Dinos trailing 16 here, 0-2 on the season against their 1-1 provincial rival, the Golden Bears here, looking to put some points on the board before half. 3 receivers to the right, 2 tight ends in. Spallettini gets the snap, fakes the handoff, scrambles to his left, looking for a receiver downfield, but no receiver in the area, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 9 from their own end zone.
Now, Mateo didn't have a ton of time to scramble there, but one of the things I'm a little disappointed to see is I didn't really see any receivers breaking off with scrambling rules. So, of course, if you're a deep receiver, you're supposed to come short. If you're a short receiver, you're supposed to go long. Typically, this happens as the play develops over a longer period of time, but I just saw receivers kind of idling down their routes. This looks like a deflated team on the field.
And not as many options out there as well, as they kept the 2 tight ends to max protect there on the 2nd and long situation, but just, the 1 receiver over to this side. We'll see if McLean punts the ball or not, but he will not. He's going to run some time off and run it out the back of the end zone. Despite his ability to kick the ball 61 yards through the air, it still probably would have set Alberta up with a really good field position. The score now 26-8 for the Bears with 1:36 to go.
Yeah, the way things are going right now, 2 points to not make a difference, and field position is definitely more important. Now it's not, let's try and put 3 on the board. It's let's try to make sure 3 at max come back on the board the other way.
Bears have scored on all but 2 drives so far in this first half as Hetlinger comes back out.
Yeah, they've been very effective today. Big plays, small plays, run, pass, you name it. And then defense has played great.
2 tight ends in, 3 receivers to the right for Hetlinger. He's got 1:36 to work with. Hetlinger hands off on first down. Tries to go up the middle, but is swallowed up by a gang of Dinos defenders led by Sabomi Oyasoro. And it's only going to be a gain of 2 yards, 2nd and long.
Yeah, a small win for the interior there. Doing a good job controlling the box, getting all over the running back and keeping him to a short gain. But unfortunately, that's not going to be enough. We need a big play. We need a turnover. We need a stop right here.
Golden Bears break the huddle from the 36-yard line. Etlinger with a stacked 3 to his right. Fakes the handoff. Looking over the middle, has time, finds his receiver, but he's met before the first down yardage. As that was number 41, Steen Rasmussen, making the tackle out there.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a little bit short. He was right on that first down yardage. Good job by the Dinos getting a solid tackle, not allowing him to push back upfield. He didn't need much upfield momentum there to get that first down.
And it might not seem like much, but they get the first down and they have one more play to work with. Now they have to use a play to plunge here on 3rd and short, and it's going to be an offside on the Dinos' defensive line, and it'll be enough for a Bears first down here with under a minute to go, 57 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, it's a good point, though, that, regardless, by not getting that first down, it does eat up more clock. It certainly helps the Dinos get out of here, stop the bleeding, and go figure things out in the locker room.
On the defensive line, it's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
That moves the Bears just outside their own 50-yard line to the 49 and a half. And another set of downs here for the Bears as they try to tack on some more points before the first half wraps up. Bears already at 241 yards passing here, Drew, as they snap it back. A pass to the backside. A flag comes out right on the snap. And number 18, the running back, Michael Delgado, gains more yardage. And another Dino is down.
Yeah, we've got an injured player. That was a big, big shot. Totally clean, but unfortunately, you've got a really big body going up against a not so big body, and that big body was moving at a pretty good pace.
Have to be looking at the shoulder here.
Yeah, I'm thinking based on the intense pain, dislocation or separation. I've experienced the former, and it's a weird, really uncomfortable pain.
Offside on the Golden Bears is going to be the call.
Offense, number 88. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
So that takes the play away.
So we're going to see as this play develops, one of the O-linemen here out in front and just get a shot. That's on, I think that's Jacob Kirk, and I believe he has an pre-existing shoulder injury. So there's a good chance that that's been re-aggravated, unfortunately.
Yeah, we got to spend some time with Kirk last season. He spotted for us, and I hope he's all right. I mean, he's just dealt with so many injuries throughout his football career, specifically here with the Dinos. So,
unfortunately, it's just the way the cards are dealt sometimes, right? You know, some guys manage to seem to skate by relatively injury-free, and other guys, it's quite the opposite. For the most part, most players, if you play long enough, you're going to experience at least one significant injury. And it's really about how you adapt to that, rehab, and make your way back.
1st and 15 from the 45-yard line. 48 seconds to go here in the first half. Hetlinger takes the shotgun snap, rolls out to his right, looking to the deep route. Again wide open. This time it's number 12, Chevy Thomas, and he's pushed out of bounds inside the 25-yard line.
Again, lack of communication in the Dino secondary. We've got 3 defenders on one receiver and no defenders on another. They're just getting mixed up there, and I don't think it's anything that Alberta is doing that's overly creative. It's just, lack of execution by the Dinos.
And it looked like Bosch been able to push the receiver out of bounds, playing the safety position before he got into the end zone. But from the 24, the Golden Bears working again with 40 seconds to go. Another pass here, and another flag comes out along the line of scrimmage. It's to the running back, Michael Delgado, but he gains about a yard. We'll see what the flags are. It's an offside.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a question of which way. But going back to that previous play, it seems like right now the Bears can, I guess, do no wrong, and the Dinos can do no right.
Looks like they're moving forward with the ball.
Wait, offside. Defense, number 52. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Liam Reed, the guilty party there, and it'll be a 1st and 5 from the 19-yard line for the Bears with 34 seconds to go.
Up the mid 88.
Etlinger tries to pass up the middle. That's swatted down. I think that was number 92, Darius Redhead, gets a big paw on that one to make it 2nd and 5 from the 19-yard line.
Yeah, the Dinos D-line seem to have learned from some of their mistakes with some of the screen passes, shovels that have been sucked upfield. This time keeping their heads up and their hands up, making a play on what looked like to be a little quick hitter right in behind them.
30 seconds remaining here in the half. 2nd and 5 for the Golden Bears. 3 receivers to the left, 1 running back in the backfield. Etlinger looks left. Still looking there, lots of time, looks to the back of the end zone, and it's caught! As it's number 12, Chevy Thomas in the end zone. There's a flag in the end zone as well, and Thomas stays down after the reception.
I'm assuming we got a pass interference call that's going to be waved off. You know, excellent patience by Hetlinger, just waiting and waiting and waiting. Delivers a great ball, and of course, ultimately, the Dinos can't allow for that much time, especially in the red zone. Like, if you're going to send pressure, you got to get pressure. You can't go cover 0 and expect your defenders to stay stuck to these receivers for second after second after second.
And the penalty will be on the Dinos, so the touchdown will count. It's 32-8 with 21 seconds to go here in the first half, as the Dinos made it 10-7 at one point, but it's been all Bears since.
Yeah, it continues to play out somewhat as predicted. You know, my goal with my prediction was for a relatively close, competitive game, but of course that required 4 quarters of play from the Dinos, not giving up big plays, and ultimately disciplined, quality football, and we're just not seeing it. On the flip side, Alberta's playing a great game. They're executing in every facet. Look at all this time he's taking. Patient. Look, that was a touchdown either way.
Yeah,
right?
either receiver.
Thomas, number 12,
Thomas
injured
grabbing
there.
at his knee, though, as he slowly walks off the field, and it makes me sick as soon as a guy grabs for his knee in any situation, as those are just not the injuries you want. The longest recovering injuries usually, if it's bad enough.
And it's interesting. Sometimes it's just the smallest thing, like you see guys bend their legs funny or whatever, and they might be in pain, but then 3 plays later they're back, and then another guy just takes a funny step, hits the ground like he's been shot, and boom, that's it. He's off till next season. Like, you never know.
Now, a couple of the big boys helping Thomas off the field.
Definitely never a good sign when you have to get hauled off by your teammates.
As about to get the kick away here to make it a 33-8 game with 21 seconds to go. Kick is up and through. Good pressure there from the outside, but the kick gets through as Ben Dobson almost got a couple hands to that, but it is now a 33-8 game. The scoreboard says 35. But they just added a field goal instead of an extra point there.
There we go. Fixed
now it's 33-8. They confused me in week 1 too, and I just had to remind myself that I knew what the score was.
Oh, that's the beautiful thing about math. It never lies. You know, if we look at the scoreboard here, the tail of the tape, it's really coming down to the passing game. I mean, the Dinos effectively 0 rushing yards. That hurts as well. But Alberta's got 300 yards passing in the first half. You're going to be hard-pressed to win a lot of football games giving up 300 yards in the air in one half of football.
And it's the second straight home game that it has been 300 by halftime against this group that we thought was going to be the backbone of this team in general is the defensive backcourt, and it just hasn't happened so far. Squib kick up the middle, recovered, and flying through one tackle is number 37, pardon me. That's Zach Newman, the fullback that made the catch on the squib kick. And you know, when those fullbacks finally get the ball in their hands, they're going to go through people and not around them.
That's part of the job description for sure. But, Alberta's just looking to kill clock here, get off the field as soon as possible. Probably have a pretty chummy halftime and come back out ready to go.
There is time for probably 2 throws here to get into field goal range for Spallettini, who comes back out with Williams in the backfield. 3 receivers right to left. Spallettini gets the snap, looks to the curl route to the outside. It's caught and pushed out of bounds. There was number 19, Matson Tulloch, who makes the catch with 10 seconds remaining. That takes 7 seconds off the clock. They're out to their own 44.
Yeah, we're seeing more examples of youth with the Dinos. You throw the ball to the outside, you're successful in the completion, you've got tons of room, and you're trying to make a move on a guy, just run out of bounds. Save 1 or 2 seconds, give yourself a chance.
10 seconds to go in the half. The Bears lead the Dinos 33-8. Dinos looking to at least get into field goal range here with one more play. Spallettini takes the snap, drops back, has time, steps up into the pocket, and will slide down with 4 seconds to go. It'll be enough for a first down, but basically it's time to heave the ball down the field now. And another injury, this time looks like an O-lineman down for the Dinos. It has not been good for either team on the injury front so far in this game.
No, that's I'm assuming it's a function of the physical play on the field and not like a lack of conditioning. I know, thinking back kind of historically when the Dinos were the perennial powerhouse, we constantly saw other teams dealing with injuries and the Dinos rarely were, and a lot of times that would chalked up to being in superior condition. But today we're seeing it both ways. We're seeing a lot of physical play. I don't really think that relates. I think it's more about, guys are getting banged up.
That is number 58, Carter Johnson, down on the field for the Dinos. Is looked to be in quite a bit of pain. Now he's back to his feet and will walk off under his own power. As we got a nice little fan shot there for a second. A pretty good crowd here tonight, Drew. As I believe we cleared 6,000 in the home opener game.
Yeah, the kickoff is always a big one, but usually when Alberta comes to town, it's a decent crowd. I mean, it's not a big, long drive, and vice versa.
As it looks like the Dinos just going to kneel the ball here and run out the remaining 4 seconds. They head into the half, trailing by a score of 33-8 to their provincial rivals, the University of Alberta Golden Bears. We've talked a lot about the Dinos, but for the Bears, they've got to be very happy with the start to this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Alberta has executed very well. We've actually seen this a few times in the last couple of years. They've come to town and really played quality football. The Dinos on the flip side, I don't know if there's much more we can say that hasn't already been said. They're just, they're struggling pretty much every facet. We could maybe, cherry pick a few, positives, but overall, the Dinos are simply just not executing. They're at home. They're expected to really, succeed and set the tempo, and that hasn't been the case right from the opening kickoff.
It certainly has not. They will receive to start the second half as they trail 33-8 as we head into halftime. I'm Riley Pollock, and we head down to field level now for Cami Kepke with the head coach of the Golden Bears.
Well, definitely a scary moment for Chevy Thomas there. He's being looked at by the team's medical staff. His teammates are comforting him. We are here with Chris Morris. Obviously a troubling moment, but the momentum all in your side's favor right now.
Yeah, we're playing well. It's unfortunate Chevy got hurt. That's, he's one of our leaders, one of our captains. It's just very unfortunate.
Calgary proved last week against Regina that they are capable of pushing hard late. What can your defense do to lock down this lead in the second half?
Yeah, we just got to keep playing. I don't think, regardless of score, regardless of what's happening, if we just keep playing hard, I think we'll be okay.
And Eli has kind of done it all tonight. He's been running for the first down, taking it to the end zone, working the arm once again. What does it do for your team's confidence to have a guy who can be creative on the field like that?
Yeah, no, you can hear that everybody saying, if we give him time, he's going to make good things happen, right? And that's that's all you can ever ask for from a quarterback. He's playing really well with his legs and with his arms, so yeah, very pleased with that.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Cammie. As we head into the halftime, I'm sure that the head coach is very pleased with what he's seen so far, Drew. But we'll break down the second half a little bit when we come back, go through the stats. But for now, it's the Golden Bears leading the Dinos 33-8 here on TELUS Optic and Canada West TV.
A Coke
is a Coke.
is a Coke. It's the same for everyone.
You can get one if you want it.
No matter where you're from.
He drinks Coke and she drinks Coke.
Even though they disagree.
And while the bottles look alike, you aren't the same as me.
Stars drink it.
Chefs drink it.
Farmers want one when it's hot. There's a Coke here if you're thirsty.
But that's cool if you're not. We all have different hearts and hands.
Heads holding various views.
Don't you see? Different is beautiful. And together is beautiful too.
Welcome back here to McMahon Stadium. I'm Riley Pollock with Drew Carpenter. We're at halftime right now, and right now we go to the Canada West Plays of the Week here on TELUS Optic and Canada West TV.
It brings up second down. He's going to go deep. Looking for Mims again. He's got him. Inside the 5, he'll score. Being a little bit underthrown, but Mims able to turn back to the ball. He never got his head turned around to see it. The attempting to more pressure. Look at him step up in the pocket. Thinking the throwaway, but he's going to get it himself. Strong legs from St. Andrews. Dinos got a player.
Up the middle. He's looking for it. He has it. Holding Harvard. He's gone. The 20. The 10. Oh, by Hellinger hits his man in stride. And he knew it at about the 40-yard line. Now he's got to turn on the jet.
Backfield empties out. Oh, it's going to be intercepted. Who else has it? It's Anthony Bennett. What can't this kid do? I mean, the range, the wingspan to get fingers on that football, catch it, and then the breakaway speed down to get into the end zone. Elshea, he's looking deep into double coverage, and did he come down with that? That's a catch. It's Deshaun Mims in double coverage.
And Mims just goes up and gets it.
Going deep has Kazima caught, and that is something we thought we'd see all game long. Nice toss, even better catch. Over the shoulder, looking for the end zone, has his man. It's going to be picked off in the end zone. Alberta with the turnover, intercepted.
3 games, 1 night, and what a night it was. We start in Saskatoon, the Huskies home for the first time since their Hardy Cup victory last year. And they waste no time showing fans they're back in form. UBC answers, Isaiah Knight squares things up. But in the second, Rhett Vavra goes up and gets it to extend the Huskies' lead. Saskatchewan shuts down the Thunderbirds 29-10. Let's go just down the road to Regina, hosting Calgary. The Rams heat up in the second. Kyle Borza goes hard into the post. Doesn't care, that's 6 points. Then, who other than Anthony Bennett with a pick 6 from the defensive line. Calgary not going away. Daniel Sananez runs one in, but the Dinos' late game push not enough. Rams win by 8. Over to Edmonton, where Alberta and Manitoba both looking for their first wins of the season. Alberta's Colby Herford taking things into his own hands. Has a night for himself with 3 touchdown catches. Nothing going for the Bisons until the fourth. Brent Adams comes down with one, but they fall to the Golden Bears 34-11. Your Canada West Offensive Player of the Week is Colby Herford. The Alberta Golden Bear turned the team's home opener against the visiting Manitoba Bisons into a party. Herford posted the first major score of the game with a 39-yard reception early in the second quarter. He followed that up just minutes later with a 68-yard TD catch. Hereford just kept getting better, topping the night off with an 84-yard score, running the final 40 effortlessly through the Bison's defense. The second-year receiver had 3 of his team's 4 touchdowns on the night and 202 yards as Alberta captured its first win of the season. Your Canada West Defensive Player of the Week is Anthony Bennett. The Regina Ram repeats in the first 2 weeks of the season as his game-changing plays continue to rip up the conference. Bennett single-handedly extended the Rams' lead in the third quarter by tipping a Dinos pass to himself and running it back to score. That marks the second ever pick six by a Rams defensive lineman and set the Rams up for success when the Dinos later made it a one-possession game. Bennett also posted 1.5 tackles for loss, a fumble recovery inside the Dinos' 10, and a sack, his conference-leading 4th of the season. Bennett and the Rams are now 2-0, proving haters wrong after ranking dead last in the coaches' poll. Your Canada West Special Teams Player of the Week is Vince Triambari. The Calgary Dino kicker was perfect every time he was called upon, despite the challenge each presented. Triambari put the Dinos up early with a 40-yard field goal minutes into the opening quarter. He returned in the second, this time booting one through from 42 out. Triambari's third and final field goal attempt from 37 yards was also good, as Mr. Consistent kept the Dinos in the game so they could later make a push before ultimately falling to the Rams. Triambari also posted 2 kickoffs for 116 yards.
It's just a great example of community partnerships and working together with ATB and Calgary Sports and Entertainment. The support that we get from our community for our athletics program is just amazing. And these athletes, our Dinos, are just superb examples of ambassadors of excellence and achievement. We've got a large number of academic all-stars, everybody dedicated to try to promote excellence and making sure that we compete with the best in Canada. So this support today will really reinforce our athletics programs across all of the different sports, but in football in particular, with the donors like ATB and also with the Calgary Sports and Entertainment. It just means that it's an endorsement of the trust the community has in us, and then we can go out and use that and use those funds not only to improve our performance, but also to leverage with our community more funds coming for athletics in our programs.
Yeah, exciting for us to be involved in this ATB. I mean, a couple of things. One is to be involved with such great brands. The Stampeders Foundation, the University of Calgary, great brands alongside ATB. So the partnership is really important to us. The fundraising is remarkable. So, to give $50,000 to have the Stampeders Foundation match it, and then $65,000, I think, from the 50-50 is remarkable. But I think the most important thing for us is really the athletes themselves. And we know that student athletes have high character, they're disciplined, they're hardworking, they're focused, and all of those attributes and characteristics can transfer into the workplace. And not only the workplace itself, but also society overall. So for us, we're investing in the future of those athletes and how they'll contribute back to business and in the society of this great province we call Alberta. So fun time.
There's certainly lots of places it can go. I think academic support's a big piece for us, where we have more than 200 academic All-Canadians. We set a national record in that, and a lot of that is due and thanks to the academic support program we have in place, so a lot of it will go there. And really it's just feeding into those little places where a little bit of extra investment might help get our teams over the top. So a little bit of extra coaching, or that one extra exhibition trip, or things like that. So lots of different places that this support will go to and help our student athletes achieve their potential. Community support like we get from ATB is we couldn't operate without it. So a huge thank you to everyone at ATB for their support. We really appreciate everything they do.
So lucky we've got a 50-50 program supported by wonderful Stampeder fans all across the province that pitched in, and to be able to direct funds towards university athletics, especially after COVID, and all these athletes faced with not being able to play their sports in the previous year, we couldn't be more thrilled to be able to help out Dino athletics.
Yeah, big thanks to ATB. Lots of funds coming the Dinos' way. I know as a former student athlete yourself, you probably appreciate them. But it's always nice to see the donations that the Dinos can muster up from people like that.
Certainly, and for anyone that's interested, I think right now with the 50-50 draw this weekend for the Stampeders, there's an opportunity to grow that pot. So by all means, feel free to purchase some tickets. I know I already have.
Yeah, I'll be purchasing as well. Usually one of the best 50-50s of the season for those Stampeders games. So, yeah, that's tomorrow night here at McMahon. The crew already set up beside us, so we've had to do some shifting, but we're having a blast up here in the booth as we always do, Drew. And tough start for the Dinos. They kind of brought it back, made it a 10-7 game, and then that 3rd and 1. It's what I've been going back to where they didn't get it. Really seemed to shift momentum because the Golden Bears come down, score a touchdown right away to make it 17-7, and it's kind of been all Bears since then.
Yeah, I think you're right. There was a point there where I was really feeling like my prediction of a balanced game outcome was looking good, and then it all just sort of fell apart. But I don't want to focus on the Dinos. I'd rather focus on Alberta, frankly, because they're playing a really good football game.
Yeah, they sure are. I mean, Hetlinger, 19 of 23, 302 yards, 2 touchdowns in that first half to go along with 44 yards and a touchdown on the ground. He sparked that offense, and he's moved the ball around very nicely as well. I mean, they've made the big plays, but he's found quite a few receivers so far in that first half.
Yeah, and I would have anticipated the Dinos coming into this season to be the young, exciting team that, we'd all be talking about, but Alberta seems to be taking that torch. We've got a young quarterback and young receiver tandem that are just making plays all over the place.
Yeah, as we take a look at a few of the replays there from the first half, it really, I'm sure, going to be a lot of plays from the Golden Bears, as that was the first touchdown. Ope Oshanubi, who eventually hurt his knee, unfortunately, in that first half.
Well, something to point out, we talked about injuries on this that first replay. We're already seeing a Dino player down hurt. I have a feeling on a lot of these replays we're going to see random players on the ground because there have been so many guys getting beat up in this physical football game.
Yeah, Sananas did come out and lead the first few drives there, and then Matteo Spolatini came in later, but that's probably his best throw of the entire first half. That was Sananas that made that led to this Abrook touchdown as he just reached across the goal line.
I mean, this was the bright spot for the Dinos in this game, and really since they've been playing at home 2 games deep now.
Yeah, and then basically the rest of the replays here as Sananas makes a pass to the out here and a couple nice broken tackles. I believe that was Zach Smith, and that led to that 3rd and short that they didn't get.
Yeah, and it was all Bears from then on. It's a good example of that role, being patient, ultimately deciding not to throw the football. This is one of the few where the ball stayed tucked. But, just playmakers for the Bears.
Yeah, and Hetlinger just doing it with his feet, doing it with his arm. It was all over the place. Chevy Thomas makes the catch there. I'm sure we'll see his touchdown late in the first half, but he got injured on, and it didn't look good on the knee there. But again, it's McLean making the highlight reel with 70-yard punts for the Dinos in the first half.
Probably the most consistent bright spot for the Dinos so far this season. Again, we've talked about what the Bears are doing, and it's really all positive. They are running the football effectively. Maybe not as much as truthfully I would have expected them to, but they're having so much success with the pass. Why would you change it up?
Exactly. Yeah, it's just besides the scramble yards from Hetlinger, the 2 running backs have combined for 22 yards rushing on 8 carries, so not necessarily blowing it out of the water. I mean, Hetlinger does have the 44, but 37 of them came on 1 rush. So yeah, they're throwing the ball. They've seen that the 3-4 front for the Dinos has been effective against called runs so far, and that's probably been the biggest bright spot for the defense, as certainly the pass game not where they want it defensively again here in the first half.
No, and the Bears are getting it done in the short pass game. They're getting it done on the inside, the outside, and then they're taking it deep over top, and really just, the world is their oyster. The playbook is their oyster. They can seemingly call anything and have success with it today.
And yeah, we did mention the injuries, quite a few both ways here. It's been on the O-line. It's been in the defensive backfield. It's been really everywhere for the Dinos so far. Just hoping for a cleaner game in terms of injuries for both sides, and maybe the Dinos can do a little something with this as they did against the Rams last week.
Yeah, we definitely want to see a second half where, you know, guys are staying healthy, and we certainly want to see, you know, a better product on the field from the Dinos. Hopefully close it out.
And we head down to field level now as Cami Kepke is with the head coach of the Dinos.
We're down here with Wayne Harris. And Wayne, a big hill for your side to climb. What was your message to the guys in the half?
Well, it's about staying focused on the right things. You know, we got to eliminate. You can't take 4 or 5 major penalties in a half and expect to come away with anything. We had a couple of injuries and substitutions, and guys were trying to do too much instead of just doing their job. So we just refocus on that and try to come out with some energy and see what we can make of the second half.
You mentioned the penalties there. What's the key to instilling a sense of discipline on the field?
Well, it should come in everything we do from practice right in through to the game. And so we've never been an undisciplined team in the past, and we haven't ever taken this many major penalties before. So I'll have to look at the film to see all of them, but it's definitely something that isn't acceptable.
Your team proved that they're more than capable of a late push like they did against Regina. What gives you confidence that they can do the same here tonight?
Well, we'll find out. You know, they've got to come out and be attacking and play the way that we normally play. But if you want to sit back and feel sorry for ourselves, nobody's going to help us out. So, you know, we got to take control ourselves.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Cami. And, yeah, I mean, Wayne said it all there. You can't be taking 4 major penalties in a half and expect to be close in a football game, and they certainly are not right now.
No, absolutely. And that's where, you know, they need to reload, reset, focus on the second half. And we talked about this against Saskatchewan. You know, win the second half, gain some momentum and some confidence for next week, you know, if this is insurmountable. To be determined, though, as we kick off.
Yeah, major on the first drive, and you never know what's going to happen here, as I'm sure that the Rams thought they were well in control last week at home against the Dinos, and it was, you know, a 1-score game by the end of it that ended in an interception on the goal line. So we'll see what happens here. The Golden Bears lead at the Dinos 33-8 as the Golden Bears kick off to start the second half. It's a good kick down to about the 3-yard line, and it's going to be Sibley on the return. He gets around the outside, but is just pushed out at about the 24-yard line, and that's where the Dinos will start this second half.
Yeah, good job by the returner there, creating an opportunity, working inside, looking like he's going to bring it up in between his blockers, and then quickly shifting around, finding some space on the sideline for a decent return to start the half.
And it looks like Daniel Sananez back at quarterback for the Dinos to start this second half. He had a great second half against the Rams. We'll see what he can do here as he went 5 of 9 for 108 in that first half. 2 tight ends in. Sananez steps back on first down, looks to the out. A nice pass there. Dang makes the catch and should have enough for a Dinos first down at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like they're signaling it, and you know, ultimately that's what you want to see. Just chip away at it, small plays. Let's gain some confidence. Let's execute, right? Get the sticks moving and see if ultimately we can get some more points on the board.
Williams in the backfield with Sananez. Hard count. Looking to get the Golden Bears to jump. That does not happen. The ball back to Sananez. Blitz picked up for a second. He spins away from pressure. Looking downfield. Still can't get rid of the ball. He's going to be sacked deep in Dino territory at the 24. It's going to bring up 2nd and 20.
Yeah, there's got to be a bit of a clock in your head. And when you're successful spinning out of that initial rush and give yourself an opportunity, it's got to be either I see a receiver and I'm going to hit him, or I'm throwing it out of bounds.
Yeah, he had plenty of time to get rid of that football and just, you know, hung on a little too long to try and make something out of it, and that caused the sack, and it's going to be a long second down here as he has 3 receivers to his right. Sananez 2 receivers to the left. He steps back. He looks deep, has a man. The catch is made, and is still on his feet. He scrambles into Golden Bear territory. Zach Smith on the reception.
Yeah, heck of a catch there by Smith. He knows he's going to get hit, and he figures, hey, might as well catch the football. Goes up and gets it, takes a big shot. I think the fact that he got hit from front and the back helped him to keep his feet and not have it be too devastating.
Nice blitz pick up there from Javier Williams as well to give Sananez time to make that pass. Just a beautiful catch there from Smith. And they are into Golden Bear territory at the 53-yard line. It's first down. Hernandez gets the snap, a blitz coming, looks deep again, has a man, can he find him? It's just out of the reach of the intended receiver. That's number 19, Matson Tulloch.
That play call makes a lot of sense. You've just had success throwing over top. Why not take another shot? I mean, if you're successful again, obviously you're in a great position. You potentially have points on the board and are feeling really good about yourself. Unfortunately, just slightly overthrows.
2nd and 10 for the Dinos from the 53-yard line. They trail 33-8. 12:43 to go in the 3rd quarter. Pistol formation, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Hernandez sends his receivers in motion. Blitz coming from the outside. He doesn't have much time. Throws it into the outside there and almost intercepted. That's the field goal kicker, Jonathan Giustini.
Yeah, I think we just have an underthrown football there because we had a corner route with a defensive back over top, another one underneath, but room towards the sidelines. And I think Hernandez just underthrew it, maybe thinking the receiver was going to sit down, but I didn't see the opportunity for it.
Yeah, Sibley just couldn't cut back to that one as the punting unit will come out, led by Chris McLean. King gets the snap and fires one inside the 10-yard line. Caught and falling there was number 20, that's Jackson Hume. So good punt, no return, and it'll be a long field here for the Golden Bears to start their 2nd half on offense.
Looked like a heavy ball. He kicked an absolute laser beam there, not the usual big deep arc that we see. Not sure if that's on purpose or not. I feel like it might have been. Coverage was looking good. And, you know, unfortunately for the Bears, they're going to be starting to shorten their end.
302 yards passing for Hetlinger in that first half, just the 4 incompletions and 2 touchdowns through the air, as well as 1 on the ground. And he starts from his own 11. He changes the play. Hetlinger sees something at the line. Changes to a throwing play into the slot area, and a tackle made by number 3. That's Jacob Biggs on the play. And they'll be about halfway to a first down at the 16.
Yeah, nothing fancy there. Just a simple all curls play. Find the receiver with the defender who's given the most space, and give yourself an opportunity for 2nd and medium.
3 right, 2 left in the pistol form. Hetlinger gets the ball, steps back, throws it into the middle. It was deflected at the line. As that was number 52, Liam Reed, getting a hand on it, and that's going to bring out the punting unit.
Yeah, good job by Calgary, applying some pressure, getting their hands in the air, and forcing Alberta into a punting situation out of their deep in their own end.
Reed skying for that one to get a hand on it.
Yeah, it's good heads-up football. You want your front line to not only be controlling that line of scrimmage, but getting involved beyond just looking for tackles and sacks. Get your hands up in the air, make it difficult for the quarterback to see his receivers. Don't give him a clean line of sight.
Matt Sibley back to return at his own 50-yard line. See if the Bears punt this one away from, as the punter stands on the 2. They sure do, and a nice kick there. Sibley catches it at his 52. He'll cross midfield and be taken down at the Golden Bears' 53-yard line.
Excellent coverage by Alberta there. Good kick too, nice and high. Hangs up, gives the coverage team lots of time to get down on it. They adjust based on the returner's position, and effectively 0 return.
Christian Phillips slow to get up there, but he'll hobble his way off the field. As it will, looks like they're going back to the alternating quarterbacks here in the 2nd half, as Matteo Spallettini comes out after Hernandez had the first drive of this 2nd half. 2 receivers, motion to the left. Now one cuts back right. Now it's an end-around play to Desjardins. Desjardins stiff arms one away and then gets hammered at the 50 after a gain of about 3.
It looked like Calgary had a chance there to seal the edge and really turn that into a big play, but the defensive end for Alberta does a great job stringing it along, forcing it wide, allowing his defense to pursue, forcing the runner into a really small space, which makes it easier for an open field tackle.
And Giustini on the tackle again there. as he came hard downfield. 2nd and 7 here for Spallettini. 3 to his right, 2 to the left. Spallettini drops back, pressured immediately, and tries to escape the pocket. Pass coming, and incomplete on the far sideline there. That'll bring up 3rd and 7.
You know, you mentioned they're back and forth, and I think ultimately until a leader truly emerges, probably makes sense to just keep toggling these quarterbacks back and forth, get them each reps, and wait for someone to really truly take the reins.
Looks like there was a flag deep in the backfield around the
legal contact.
19-yard line.
Defense, number 6. It's a 10-yard penalty and a first down.
And the Dinos get lucky there as illegal contact comes to Reggie Shoppy, and that's going to put the Dinos at the Golden Bear 40-yard line.
And one of the few mistakes we've seen Alberta make today.
Spallettini in the pistol. 3 left, 2 right. From the 40, 1st and 10. Spallettini gets the snap, steps back into the flats, complete to Desjardins. He breaks one tackle and another, reaches for the first down. Will they give him the spot? It's going to be close, but a nice individual effort there from Desjardins.
Yeah, instead of waiting for the football, we'll see him attack it and then really turn hard to the outside and upfield. This forces the defender really to make a tackle, which, you know, I don't see any arms wrapping. I'm not sure. You're not going to get a lot with a body check. This isn't hockey, right? Wrap those guys up, get around the legs, bring them down.
2nd and very short here. And the Dinos will stay in the pistol for this 2nd and inches situation. Spallettini drops back to pass, looking deep, has a man, and just in and out of the hands of Smith, as it looked like he might make a miraculous over-the-shoulder catch in the end zone.
Yeah, and that was a pretty good throw from Mateo. Unfortunately, it ended up right over the receiver's head, which puts you in an awkward position because you're not sure, do you look over the left shoulder, the right shoulder, or do you ultimately look straight up over a little bit like Willie Mays back in the day, bucket catch out in center field. Not an easy one to make.
Flag on the Dinos on the play.
Wait, offside. Offense, number 19. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
So instead of making it 3rd and inches, they'll give him another down here. Be about 2nd and 5.5 for the Dinos. Spallettini drops back, blitz coming, passes it into the middle. Good defensive breakup there as again Jonathan Giustini, a man of many talents, breaks up the pass.
Yeah, good job by the defender there, attacking through the receiver. You're timing it up very well. This is where, again, we're talking about receivers coming back to football. You really got to attack it, especially when you're feeling man coverage, because that defender is coming for it.
Dinos out there to attempt a field goal. Triambari 0 for 1 so far on the night. He's going to attempt from about 43 here. Dinos trail 33-8 with 9 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
How much movement are you going to give the center?
Triambari, kick is up, and he's going to miss to his left once again. The ball comes out, and a big hit around the 2-yard line as running it out there was Hume. He's hit at the 2, and Liam Reed makes the play.
Looks like Triambari might have used up all his bullets last week. 0 for 2 today after coming off a Special Teams Player of the Week nomination and win.
So the ball will come out to the 20 instead of the 35 because they chose to run it out instead of taking the single point. So that's where the Golden Bears will start. 3 to the left, 2 tight ends in the formation. Hetlinger with the handoff on first down. That met quickly in the middle by Owen Porsu.
Yeah, we see some good patience here by the defensive end for Calgary, but also I think we got a bit of an assignment bus with the Alberta O-line, just running right past them, no one getting even a hand on them.
And we head down to the sidelines with Cami Kepke now for an injury report.
Yeah, I asked the coaching staff with the Alberta Golden Bears how their injury situation was, and they simply said bad. Right now they're looking at linebacker Reese Flunder being out with a potential concussion. Opio Shinobi, they're looking at a potential finger fracture. He's got his hand bandaged up down here. And number 12, Chevy Thomas, they're still being looked at, but unfortunately it looks like it could be something to do with his knee. So they're going to be looking deep to some subs to help them close this one out.
Thank you, Cami, as on first down there, an incomplete pass, but a flag in the backfield is going to be roughing the passer against the Dinos.
The Dinos continue to not help themselves out. Trumbari had a receiver open there, just slightly overthrew it, but manages to get bailed out by another undisciplined play by the Dinos.
I believe it was number 52, Liam Reed. He's made some big plays. He's also taken 3 penalties, I believe, now in the game. So 1st and 10 for the Golden Bears after the penalty from their own 35-yard line. Petlinger in the pistol. Sends his receivers in motion. Handoff to the outside. Run coming, but stopped up again. A good defensive play there, and it's Liam Reed who just took the penalty, stopping the run in the backfield.
Yeah, we're seeing flashes of greatness from time to time and seemingly all over the field, but it's just there's no consistency to it. You know, if the Dinos really want to turn this around, they need to be making these plays on a semi-regular basis. The good news is we are seeing a bit of a better second half emerging from that perspective than we did, similar to what we saw last week and the week before. But again, the Dinos need to learn to play 4-quarter football.
5.5 tackles now for Reed, including that tackle for a loss. Blitz coming from the outside. Pass over the middle is caught. Fighting for the first down, but just holding him up as Liam Reed hangs on for dear life there and makes the stop. As I believe Nate Boschman in there as well from the safety position.
Hangs on for dear life. Sounds like the way you could describe the Dinos right now. But nonetheless, they're forcing a turnover here. Opportunity to get the ball moving in the right direction, put some stats up on the board, close some of this gap, and you never know. Maybe we'll see the kind of fourth quarter we saw last week. But right now, it's just about doing the little things right over and over and over again.
And it was Boschman there skiing behind the receiver, but he did enough as it's 3rd and 3 here. And punt coming. It's a short punt. The bounce to the side, picked up there by Sibley. He's taken down. There's a flag. It'll be no yards on the play. So the Dinos will start with decent field position after a short punt.
We talked about it last times. I fully support the gunner there from Alberta just going and making that tackle. If you hold a team to 5 yards return, I mean, you've done your job.
It looks to be of the 5-yard variety.
You know, Dinos were fortunate the ball was bouncing around initially. It doesn't take much to hit one of the, your blocking players in the foot, and suddenly it's live. So, unfortunately they were able to pick it up and no harm, no foul.
Sanana's back in at quarterback with Abrook behind him. Takes the snap, rolls slightly to the left, spins back the other way. He's got room to that outside. Makes a move on the lineman. Has some room to run. He'll step out of bounds at the 48-yard line, so it'll be a gain of maybe 5.
Just a quick little high step to keep the lineman honest. Forces the defender to just freeze his feet just for a moment right here. Gets the edge and allows himself to pick up nearly a first down.
2nd and 5 here for the Dinos. 2 to the right, 3 to the left to start here. Abrook in the pistol formation with Sananas. Blitz coming from the outside. Sananas stays in, makes the pass. Getting upfield there for the first down is number 19, Matson Tolick, and a great play there by Sananas to just hang in there knowing he was going to get hit.
Yeah, this is some specific feedback I got from the Dinos coaches that Sananas is cool as a cucumber. He doesn't get phased. He will stand in there. He will deliver the football. He's not going to panic, which is, good to see in a young player, right? So again, let's see this consistency. Let's see it happen again and again.
1st and 10, just on the Golden Bears side of midfield. Sananes gets the snap, looks to his right, now looks down as the blitz is coming. He's going to be taken down in the backfield. At about the 52-yard line, that's going to bring up 2nd and long.
The Bears continue to have success bringing pressure and really forcing the Dinos into tough situations, having to make plays. There, the pocket completely collapses, and Sananes has nowhere to go.
Sananes to 8 for 14 for 146 here. No turnovers in this game, but has hit a couple deep balls, has missed a couple deep balls, but certainly hasn't been all his fault in this either of the quarterbacks so far in this game.
Far from it.
Sananes gets the snap. It's going to be a draw play to Abrook. Abrook up the middle. Abrook with some room, almost to the first down, and he dives ahead. He's going to be close, maybe a yard short there, but a nice run from Ben Abrook to get them at least into the area to think about going forward here on 3rd.
It's never one play, it's never one player. Football is truly a team game, and it's about putting play after play after play together and executing. This is a good example of the Dinos having some success, but again, they got to be doing it over and over and over again, like Alberta has demonstrated today. They execute on offense, defense, and special teams consistently.
Another lineman down here for the Dinos, as the left tackle Carson was injured earlier in the game. But he's back on the field. It's a different lineman down right now. Just has not been good, as that's number 65. Chris Onankor down on the field.
Yeah, and I know the Dinos' offensive line just across the board has been quite lean this year. Normally you're carrying somewhere between 15 and 20 guys, and I think at one point they were like 12 players. This is going into the first game of the season. Like, they're really short on numbers, so this is not something you want to see. I mean, you never want to see any players hurt, but especially those big boys. As they say, you can't teach tall. You don't just throw someone in an O-line, right?
I know that.
You can sub in, athletes at, receiver, DB, linebacker, especially the defensive positions where it's a little bit more read and react. You can manage that injury depth chart, I guess. But on the offensive side, especially O-line, there's only so many guys that can truly step in.
As they get him to his feet here. And they're going to walk him slowly off the field. Looks like another lower body, unfortunately. Hopefully it's not as bad as it looks.
I mean, he mostly looks like he's under his own power, but that may just be because he's so big they can't actually lift him off.
Hopefully Onankor is all right and back on the field in no time. The Dinos have a 3rd and less than a yard to work with here. Sananes will come in under center. Gonna go to the pistol here on 3rd and half a yard. And hand off to the outside. Abrook does just get enough for a first down, it looks like, as initial contact had him short, but he rolled off of it for a first down.
Yeah, we had a...
They're going to bring in the chains. It might not be as close as I think it is.
I mean, based on the spot, it looks like it's complete, but it's, we don't know until they actually measure it. But you'll see here the linebacker just comes shooting the gap, full speed, good contact, but isn't able to get his head upfield and prevent the running back from falling forward and picking up the yards that it looks like he needed.
And it will be enough for a first down by about half a football. So the Dinos do pick up another first down. They're to the Golden Bear 44-yard line with 3:07 remaining in the third quarter. They trail 33-8.
You were talking about all the injuries, but per Cammie's report earlier, it's happening on both sides of the football, so it's definitely not an excuse either way. Both teams are beating each other up and, are having to bring in guys and fill in roles.
First down, Dinos. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, tight end in the formation. Sananas gets the snap, tries to step through, but he's taken down by big number 94, Riley Savansky, and that's going to bring up second and long once again.
That felt like a bit of a called quarterback draw play, the way he just immediately stepped up, tucked the football. I'm also guessing that based on the way the Bears D linemen really kind of settled down. I think they felt that they were having a little too much success getting upfield and kind of said, hey, wait, what's going on here? We're able to peel off the block and make a play.
Second and about 13 here for the Dinos at the 46-yard line of the Bears. Sananas, blitz coming, looks deep, has a man, but just threw it in front of him as Smith seemed to have a step on the inside on his defensive back, but the pass didn't get there.
Yeah, it's difficult to change your route from a vertical pattern to a flat pattern, especially if you're not expecting it to try to adjust to the football. But the way he kind of just let up, it's almost like he expected that ball to be going to somebody else. I'd like to see the receiver at least make an attempt at it, not to be mistaken that I expected him to actually catch that football.
Third down, the punting unit out as they kick away from the 46-yard line of the Golden Bears. McLean gets the snap and kicks it down to about the 10-yard line. Decent return around the outside to about the 18, and that's where the Golden Bears will start as Hume on the return.
2 home games in a row, we're focused on special teams as the bright spot, but it is what it is, and ultimately there's all 3 facets to the game, especially in the Canadian game. Special teams plays a huge component, and it's good to see that the Dinos have one of them locked down, but that has to bleed over into the offensive defensive side of the football. I mean, we haven't seen a change in the scoreboard in the third quarter, so that is an improvement, but still not good enough.
1 tight end, 2 on each side. Handoff on first down. Up the middle. It's swallowed up pretty quickly once again. I believe Sabomi Oyasoro led the way. And that'll be a gain of about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6 for the Bears.
At this point, I have to assume the Bears are going with a slightly more conservative playbook. They still want to apply pressure. They want to continue to, succeed, move the ball forward, get those reps. But on the flip side, you want to run the clock.
3 left, 2 right pistol set here on second down. Pass coming to the outside. A good defensive play there from number 16, Jordan Chisda, and that's going to bring up third down.
And that's a good example of why keeping it on the ground can really be beneficial right now, because throwing the football is inherently risky, especially when you throw it all the way across the field on a short out like that. Again, the risk-reward balance doesn't really play out. And with Alberta suffering as many injuries as we've seen, it probably is in their best interest to eat up clock and truly get out of here as soon as possible.
48 seconds remain here in the third quarter. The Bears continue to lead 33-8. Sibley back to return once again for the Dinos. As the kick is away, another short wobbling kick caught at midfield. Sibley has it, takes it up the middle, gains some yardage, breaks a couple tackles, is still going, and there's going to be a flag on the play now. Sibley tried to battle for something, gained about 7 yards, but another Dino down and a flag on the play.
Yeah, solid individual effort here. The trade-off is, though, dancing around, taking that much time, eventually you're going to have blockers that are going to have to either let go or hang on, and I think we have a situation of a hanger on with the flag down right now.
Calgary, number 80. It's a 10-yard penalty from point ball held. First down, Calgary.
So the Dinos will be moved back to their own 50-yard line as another tough-looking injury down on the field. Can't quite make out the number.
Alberta had a player laying on the ground after the play as well. He's since gotten up and probably just a hurt, not injured situation. But it's unfortunate to see all these bodies on the ground.
Looks like they're looking more upper body on this play. And it's Phillips, number 21, Christian Phillips. Now sitting up, which is a better sign than it was 30 seconds ago. And Phillips will get back to his feet, mostly under his own power, and be able to walk off the field. So the Dinos start another drive, this time from their own 50-yard line. As Spallettini back in. Three right, two left, pistol formation. Spallettini 4 for 6 for 48 yards so far. He gets the snap. Steps into the pocket and passes it to Desjardins. He's taken down at midfield.
Yeah, and that looks like that's going to end the third quarter, and truthfully it's probably in the Dinos' best interest to do so because the wind is blowing in their faces right now, so they'll pick that up as an advantage in the fourth quarter.
2nd and 6 here on the what should be the final play of the third quarter. As we continue to see the clock click down, and the Bears hang on to this lead. Spallettini gets the snap, a blitz coming from the outside. He picks it up, runs away from it, tries to get upfield. He's going to be a couple of yards short, as they're going to mark him out at midfield. Maybe just one on the play. It's going to be 3rd and about 5. And that will do it for the third quarter, Drew, as we didn't see any scoring in the third quarter, but the Bears will be okay with it. The Dinos can't be, as they continue to trail 33-8.
I think they're going to be forced here to go for it and continue going for it and really press in the fourth quarter here to have any chance at closing this gap.
And that will do it for third quarter action. We'll be back for the fourth quarter in about 30 seconds time. You are watching Canada West football on TELUS Optic and Canada West TV.
I get really mad when people underestimate me and call me a para-athlete that can run. I can't wait to blow past them. I'm Stephen Daniel. I'm not going to be the best para-athlete in the world. I'm going to be the best athlete in the world. Period.
And we are back for fourth quarter action. But before we get to that, Drew, we have a Hall of Fame inductee with the Canada West, as Michelle Kahn was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Let's take a look at her.
Michelle Kahn was a special talent in the world of field hockey, regarded highly not only in university athletics, but on the world stage. Kahn worked her way to esteem. She wore the C on her chest atop the country's maple leaf and is now regarded as one of the top goal scorers ever produced in women's field hockey. Kahn competed at the University of Calgary from 1981 to 85, regarded as one of the best to don a Dinos field hockey uniform. The three-time Canada West All-Star was an instant game-changer for the team. While at the University of Calgary, Kahn boosted the profile of another red and white team. She represented Canada at 93 international events, including 3 Olympic Games. She co-captained the team from 89 to 92 and captured a bronze at the 1986 World Championships in Holland. Kahn earned her Bachelor of Sciences degree in 1988 before adding a certified general accountant's designation in 2001.
Well, Drew, it's one more quarter of play here for the Dinos. We've seen this before in their first home game, trailing by a bunch, and you just hope that they can find some sort of offensive momentum here in this final frame.
I mean, they have to, right? You know, for the good of the players, the good of the fans, the good of the program, they really have to, you know, turn this around and at least leave here with their heads held high.
As we get into the fourth quarter, it'll start with a punt from Chris McLean. As he gets that one away, another laser down to the 10-yard line. Coverage pretty good there. He does get around to the outside, as that is Hume taken out at about the 24-yard line.
McLean continues to hammer it. You know, we talked a lot about, you know, his consistency, his success so far, and the likelihood of next level. You know, he's just got to keep focusing on doing what he can to contribute, as do, you know, a lot of these guys. Like, it's a team game, but you also got to focus on what can I do to make this better.
5 kicks, 248 yards, a 48.8 average, as long as 67 tonight. Golden Bears start with the ball at the 24-yard line. Snaps come back. The under, not quite there, as that'll bring up 2nd and long.
Dinos managed to get a little bit of pressure, force the ball out early. Receiver's not quite ready for it, and his break and reasonable coverage over top two yields an incompletion.
Yeah, the safety Nate Boschman in coverage there on 1st down. It's tough. I mean, Boschman getting the reps at the safety position, but that also means that Matthew Lasician hasn't returned since that early touchdown. A huge loss for this Dinos team. 2nd and 10. Blitz coming. And no flag on the play. Pass looking deep. Intercepted. No, just in and out of the hands of number 3, Jacob Biggs, as the blitzer on the outside, the linebacker there, looked like he might have crossed the threshold, but apparently was able to get back in time.
Going back to my baseball analogies, you almost have to call this ball. I got it. It's mine. The two players end up kind of defending each other. No harm, no foul, really, because effectively that would have just been a punt.
And now the Golden Bears punt, or at least bring the punting unit out here from their own 24-yard line. A 2-and-out forced by the Dinos defense. 14 minutes remain in the game. Snap back. And the kick is away. Another high kick there taken at the 52-yard line of the Dinos, and nowhere to go for number 87, Matt Sibley, as he's wrapped up immediately.
Yeah, near perfect execution. Nice high kick right into the boundary. You've got a wave of Bears right over top of the returner. Quite literally nowhere to go.
It will be Spallettini again, so no alternation on these last 2 drives.
Funny enough, based on the ball placement, probably 2 or 3 yards ahead of where Jacob Biggs would have been had he intercepted the football.
Spallettini still in at quarterback. Williams in the backfield. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. In the pistol formation, Spallettini gets the snap, looks to his right, throws it immediately. And a nice move there by Tulloch as he works his way to the Golden Bear 51-yard line.
Receivers, you know, coming back to the football, making moves upfield. The defenders really need to get down low for that wrap-up. You can see here the defender's going to reach up high and try to grab top of the jersey, and that's just not effective.
2nd and maybe 1.5 yards here for the Dinos. They stay in the pistol formation. Spallettini getting pressure from the outside, throws it short, and the ball bounces in and out of the hands of Desjardins, and that will bring up 3rd and short here. I believe the Dinos going to go for it.
Yeah, I would think so. I was surprised they didn't before, truthfully. I mean, granted, it was much longer yardage. But, you know, Spallettini's really got to set his feet and step into that throw. I feel like he kind of threw it almost off balance. He certainly didn't get the drive and power that he needed to deliver it effectively.
3rd down Yard and a half to go. Dinos need to get to the 49-yard line here. And Spallettini going to take a timeout as there's a little bit of confusion.
Well, as much as it's not great to see the Dinos using a timeout seemingly for no real reason, ultimately, you know, if it's because he didn't like what you see, now we're seeing some maturity. That's great. You know, I'd be surprised that, you know, Alberta really threw something on that was completely different from what they expected. I mean, 3rd and short tends to be 3rd and short.
Yeah, they had the 1 3rd and short that didn't go their way, and really they haven't attempted to get under center and just push forward again since then. We've seen 3rd and short in the pistol. We've seen passes on 3rd and short. We'll see what happens here on another opportunity.
Ultimately, better to spend the timeout and gain a little bit of certainty versus going at something that you don't like, and, you know, hopefully set yourself up for success.
Dinos have held Hetlinger to just 10 yards passing in this second half so far. The defense has really stepped up in this second half. Let's see what the offense can do here. 3rd and short for the Dinos. 3 receivers left, 2 to the right in the pistol formation. Spallettini gets the snap. They will pass. Blitz coming. Spallettini looking over the top. It's out of the reach of the intended receiver, but a flag comes out late here as Tulloch was the intended receiver, but he appealed for the flag, and it came, and it should be a first down for the Dinos.
I'm curious as to whether that was a called play as far as throwing to that receiver, or where Spallettini just took it upon himself to take the deep route. But nonetheless, it works out, and the Dinos get their opportunity.
As we take a look at the called pass interference here, Spallettini certainly only looked one way. Can't really see a whole lot.
Yeah, I think
contact.
It's just, you know, a hand kind of around the waist. You know, sometimes as a defensive back, you just have to try to look like you're doing things right.
Pistol formation on first down from the 30. Spallettini rolls to his left, has a receiver open, hits Desjardins over the middle. Pardon me, that's Zach Smith to the outside, and he should have enough for another Dinos first down.
Yeah, chipping away here. You know, within striking range. I mean, obviously, any points now is a win, especially like you said, the defense doing a good job, being effective against Alberta so far in this half. If Calgary can win the half, that means something, symbolic as it may be.
Another first down here for the Dinos as they get near the red zone. Spallettini takes the snap, blitz coming, looks into the end zone for Smith, and it's intercepted in the end zone. Number 13, Jake Taylor, picks off Spallettini in the end zone.
Yeah, and just that ball's underthrown. The receiver had room over top. There was still room to the back of the end zone. And Spallettini, unfortunately, had it a little bit behind him. Gave the defender an opportunity to not only catch up, but get his hands on the football.
So another opportunity for points for the Dinos goes away, as it will be Golden Bear ball from the 20-yard line with 11:25 to go in the fourth quarter. Motioning is a receiver. Pass to the backside on the screen. Good pressure there, and nowhere to go as number 52, Liam Reed, read that perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. We got a defender covering up that running back right from the get-go. I'm actually kind of surprised that the ball was even thrown. It's probably a better opportunity to just either run around with it, try to make something happen with your feet, or throw it away.
So 2nd and 10 here for the Golden Bears, sporting a comfortable lead in this one as Hetlinger takes the pistol. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, tight end in the formation. Blitz coming from the Dinos. Hetlinger rolls to his left, throws it to the flat. The catch is made, and it'll be enough for a first down by Jackson Hume.
It's a nice half roll by Hetlinger. He just takes a few hard steps to his left, pushes his shoulders back, gets his hips around, delivers the ball immediately to the receiver who's wide open in the zone.
Yeah, just pitch and catch there.
Yeah.
As Ben Dobson in coverage. First down, Golden Bears from their own 32-yard line. Just over 10 minutes to go in the game. Hetlinger has 3 to his right, none to his left. Run to the outside again there, as they like to do that with the no receiver package there on the left side, but not very many yards gained as Sabomi Oyasoro makes the tackle for a gain of about 2 yards.
Yeah, he made a good individual effort pursuing from behind, because otherwise there was an opportunity to really break that open. There was a seam here towards the sideline that could have made for a really long run.
Trips to the right once again, 2 tight ends in the formation. 2nd and 8 here for the Golden Bears from their own 34. Hetlinger gets the snap, rolls hard to his right, looking for an outlet. Throw coming into the feet of the receiver, incomplete. That's going to bring up 3rd down. Sosre Odemwingie in pursuit of the quarterback there.
Yeah, lots of pressure to force that ball out sooner than he wanted to deliver it, but again, holding my breath because there was a hit delivered that seemed a little bit late, but whether the referees missed it or ignored it, either way works out for the Dinos.
Another punt here for the Golden Bears. 0 points scored in the second half for either of these teams. Sowski kicks the ball high in the air, as that should be a no yards call. Indeed it will be. A couple broken tackles there from Sibley. He's not easy to take down on these punt returns, even if he's only getting 5 or 6 yards.
No, he's a fighter. He's working for it. It's good to see. The Bears need to have that discipline, especially when the ball is being caught in the air. And you can tell. You can see the look on the returner.
It's a 15-yard penalty from the point of possession. First down.
When their eyes are up, their hands in front, you know that they're underneath the football. And you just got to err on the side of caution. Give them 6, give them 7 yards. Ball hits the ground, totally different story.
Yeah. Sanana's back in at quarterback after that Spolatini interception on the last drive. The Dinos start in Bears territory at the 52-yard line. 8:45 to go in the fourth quarter. They trail 33-8. Sananis looks left, passes left, finds a receiver downfield. There's going to be a penalty in the backfield as well, as it was a late hit, but tack on 15 yards to a good start here to the Dinos' drive. As Matthew Clark makes the catch out of the backfield and gains plenty.
Yeah, Sananis does a good job standing and delivering, finding a receiver, giving him an opportunity to turn upfield and make a play with his feet, yards after catch. That's we've seen Alberta succeed with that, and now it's the Dinos' turn.
Dinos should get the ball down near the 20-yard line here after that penalty, and indeed they will. So the second straight trip inside the 25-yard line here for the Dinos. Can they finish this one with a major? As another Golden Bear down on the field, but up quickly. First down, Dinos from the 20. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. In the pistol formation is Sananas. Takes the snap, looks to his left, doesn't have anything, now looks right into the end zone, looking and just over the head of Zach Smith, who was the intended target on the last pass into the end zone that went for an interception.
Yeah, and as much as I appreciate you're in the red zone, you're down, you want to get a quick hitter, I really feel like the Dinos just need to continue to just play the small ball, work their way closer to the goal line. You know, as much as that's going to eat up clock at this point, like, do the little things right, show that you can, and then work off of that on the next drive.
2nd and 10 here for the Dinos from the 20. Sananas drops back, looks into the flats, finds a receiver, cutting upfield is Ben Britton, and he's going to have enough for a first down inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. Go with a higher percentage completion. You know, there's still opportunity because Alberta is playing some zone down in the red zone. Find a hole, get that ball turned upfield. Great finish by the Dinos.
Another Golden Bear down on the field. I think he's just really tired, as Ty Anderson was running towards the sidelines and then turned around and took a knee.
That's probably the coach saying, take a knee. Because that's, I mean, yeah, you got to come off for a few plays, but sometimes it's worth the blow.
And it gives the incoming player more of a time to settle in here. 1st and goal for the Dinos from the 9. Sananas in the shotgun, takes the snap, looks to the right, passes it over the middle, into the end zone, touchdown! Dinos, number 89, Ben Britton, into the end zone.
And see, small ball can be effective, you know? They still manage to score the points they're looking for, eat up a little bit of clock, but nonetheless, now they get to go back to the sidelines feeling good about themselves and get ready to come back out, hopefully force a 2-and-out and take another shot at the end zone.
And like you said, now they are winning the second half so far. And I mean, I know it's the little things here for the Dinos in the early part of the season, but it can build towards something better with this young team as they come out for the extra point. The kick is up and good, and now they trail by 18 with 7:14 to go here in the 4th quarter.
You know, as the saying goes, success breeds success, and sometimes it's the little things and just having that continued success. And if you can focus on the little things, do them right, start to feel good about yourself, you know, you can get that ball rolling, you can get the momentum going, you can really turn things around. There's potential for that because they have won the first half. Their defense is playing quite well right now. You know, I think Alberta's maybe taken their foot off the gas a little bit as well, but either way, you know, the Dinos are showing some life, they're showing some grit, and they have a chance here to at least make something of it.
And a good job by Sananas there to go through a couple reads. He looked to the right, and he knew the crosser was coming. As soon as he locked eyes with him, the ball was out. And a great play there to put the second major of the night on the board for the Dinos, who trail 33-15. As we go down to the sidelines, Cami Kepke is with the latest score.
We're down here with Ben Britton, the second Dino to record their first touchdown of the season tonight. What did you see on that one?
I just sat there. Got the ball and took it upfield, got it in the end zone. I don't know what else to say.
You guys have played a really clean half of football here, a big improvement from the first half. What was the message from Wayne in halftime?
Just put your head down, keep moving, don't make any mistakes, and finish the game strong.
You have a lot of teammates who've gone down with injury in this one. Is there a sense of trying to get it done for them?
Of course, yeah. We gotta finish strong and come out with a win.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, Cami. Is a good return there on the play after the touchdown, as it was number 25, Charlie Deland, on the return.
Of course, this is exactly what the Dinos did not want to do in the ensuing kickoff, was give the momentum right back to Alberta with a big kickoff return. But hats off to Alberta manning up on their blocks and opening up seams, giving the returner lots of room to run.
Nate Boschman, the safety, with the tackle. As it's first down on the end around there. There's some room as number 20, Hume, is taken down hard at the 45-yard line. It looked like he had a lot more room, but that closed quickly.
Yeah, good pursuit by the defenders there. It looked like he did have seam and sidelines and daylight ahead of him, but we had a pursuing player that took a good angle and was able to get across the field and beat the runner to his point.
And that is Boschman, who has come in and made a few big plays at that safety position, as he was listed as the Sam linebacker coming into tonight's game, switched back to that safety spot when Lasician got hurt. Second down and about 6 yards. Pass out into the flat is complete. Cutting up field and plenty for a first down is number 80, Oren Schellenberg, who gets to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and this is Alberta continue to do the little things right. Little half roll to the left, find the out route, catch the ball, turn up field hard, work on those yards after catch. Little gap in there between the defenders and just shoot it.
First down, Golden Bears from the Dinos' 25-yard line. 5:25 remains in the game. They lead 33-15. Three to the right. And the run play that they like to run to the left there. They've got some room. And scrambling to about the 17-yard line. I mean, if I'm making the read from up in the booth that if there's three receivers to the right, they're probably running to the left, I'm sure that they got to know it down on the field as well.
Yeah, but even though you might know what's coming, if a play is well executed, it can still be difficult to stop. And Alberta's doing a good job of getting man-on-man with their blocks. The running back here is really patient. See him get his hand on his guy. Just let the block, let the play develop, find the gap, and then attack it.
Sosrayo Demwingi with the tackle there. Second and short here as they run the clock down. And the run up the middle is met quickly and stuffed as it's number 52, Liam Reed, making another play. He's up to 8.5 tackles on the night.
Yeah, that was a big one for the Dinos. Forcing these guys to kick a field goal, get the football back, and hopefully be able to march down like they did before. Of course, time's dwindling now, but still working towards constant improvement, whether it's for this game or the next.
Looking to take a 21-point lead here on a 26-yard field goal attempt. As Jonathan Giustini out there to kick it through the uprights. He's made 4. And movement on the line from the Golden Bears is going to push them back 5 yards and make it a little more difficult from maybe about 31 now.
Yeah, a little less of a gimme. Every yard counts, that's for sure.
Another attempt here as they move back 5 yards. 3:39 remains here in the fourth quarter. Unless a miracle happens, the Golden Bears will move to 2-1 on the season in a tie for second place with whoever loses that Sask and Regina game this weekend. Kick comes, plenty of leg, but it's going to miss to the left and go out of the back of the end zone for a single point. That makes the score 34-15 with 3:23 remaining in the game.
Yeah, again, looked like he just hooked it. The wind is blowing north to south like it was earlier, but at the end of the day, that was, I think, too short of a kick to really be impacted. He just hooked it, just missed it.
Lots of leg. For sure, this young man, Giustini, has plenty of power in that foot. Just punched it a little bit to the left. So the Dinos will start from the 35-yard line, looking to put another score on the board as number 10, Daniel Sinanes, comes back out. He's 11 of 19 for 197 and a touchdown so far tonight. Three right, two left here in the pistol formation. Slight roll to the left, looks over the middle, in and out of the hands of the intended target. That's number 85, Gob Dang, on the play as he just dropped that one.
Yeah, and Gob's been pretty consistent for the Dinos so far this season. We've heard his name a lot. His stats reflect it. Regardless of where this game is at, you want to, again, constant improvement. Got to make those small catches, make those plays. As an individual, do your part to contribute to the success.
14 penalties aside tonight. 132 yards of penalties for Alberta, 120 for the Dinos.
It's actually hard to believe that Alberta has more than the Dinos.
Sinanes takes the snap, Pressure coming from the outside. He spins away from it, looks for a target, gets away from another defender. There's a flag on the play as he's going to gain enough for a first down. We're going to see what the backside official has on the call.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that that's coming back. It's really hard to expect your O-lineman to maintain blocks for that long. But at the end of the day, you gotta work your individual skills. So if you start to lose a guy, you gotta let go, right? You gotta let go, try to reposition yourself, get in his way or someone else's way, and be disciplined.
Not so sure that it is coming against the Dinos as they refs meet near the first down marker. Illegal contact is going to be the call, and then a clip as well against the Dinos.
Yeah, I had to assume it was a hold just based on how the play extended. But of course, you can't see anything on the screen right now.
I don't see anything in the backfield. I think it was Desjardins that got the clip upfield. And the illegal contact was on this side of the field.
Yeah, it looks like Desjardins, just from the end of that replay there, is probably trying to crack down on a pursuing player, and it didn't quite get him face on or front of the body.
Certainly hasn't been a running back's ideal game, as not a whole lot of carries to go on either side here. A lot of passes attempted, I believe 64 passes between the two sides attempted so far, with still 2:32 to go.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's a function of the play calling or the results on the field. I mean, with Alberta, it's a little bit easier to understand with all the success they were having in that first half, plus 300 yards passing. But for Calgary, I mean, I still really think that there's got to be a desire to focus on your run game a little bit and try to establish that. Of course, I'm talking about earlier in the game. At this point now, it's an absolute crapshoot.
And now they move the Dinos back 1 yard and replay the down. Is that what's 2 yards maybe? It's going to be 2nd and 12 now instead of 2nd and 10. I'm not exactly sure all the yardage.
We have legal contact. Defense, number 8. That penalty is declined. We have blocking from the rear on number 1, offense. It's 15 yards from point ball held of the second penalty, and it's a first down for Calgary.
So the first down because of the illegal contact, the 15 yards back because of the block, and we have a first down. Okay. That's why I'm not an official, Drew.
Yeah, I commend those guys. I don't think I could do it.
Need a rule book in my pocket. And there's no command center here to help them out like there is in the bigger leagues. Sananes still in at quarterback. First down Dinos from their own 31-yard line. He drops back, looks over the middle into the flats, and it's caught by number 87, Matt Sibley. That's going to be another Dino first down.
Good simple execution on a deep curl, finding the soft spot in the zone. Good job by Sananes, just stepping back, getting settled, driving forward, and really delivering that football where it needs to be.
Sibley's second catch of the night. Sananes pass it out to the flats. Nice catch there by Desjardins. He's wrapped up, but he spins towards another first down as he's brought down at midfield.
Dinos are kind of treating this like a little bit of a fire situation. Of course, the scoreboard would tell you that they should. Whether they can actually convert this all the way, either way, it's good reps to have, good experience to have in a game situation.
Into the final 2 minutes here of the fourth quarter. The Dinos driving again. They're at midfield. Pass into the flats. Another catch there. And down to the 40-yard line goes Matt Sibley on a very similar play to the first catch he made on this drive.
Yeah, and this is the kind of more simple intermediate football that I'm talking about. Do the little things well. That will open up the opportunities for the big hitters.
First down Dinos as they continue to stay in the hurry up from the 40. Pass over the middle, caught nicely there by Desjardins. As, yes, they are going to say it's a catch, and he's going to have a first down at the 25.
It's a bit of an underthrown football, but this is just a great catch right off the turf. I mean, this is not easy to do when you're at full speed and that ball's down low. You know, there's no cheating here, right? There's no catching it in your shoulder pads. There's no catching it against your chest. You got to go down and get it, pluck that off the turf.
First down Dinos, the 24-yard line. Sananas drops back, looks to his left, gets it out there, and it will be number 2, Zach Smith, trying to get upfield. He's taken down after a couple-yard gain.
Again, encouraging movement, encouraging consistency. Would have loved to have seen this in the first half.
Sananas now 15 of 24 for 251 yards and a touchdown as he continues to move the ball on these last few drives. Sananas, blitz coming, looks over the middle, and he's in and out of the hands of the defender. That was Jonathan Giustini, but overthrew the receiver and lucky to still be hanging on to the ball.
I always understood DB stood for drop balls. It's not something that you necessarily expect from a defender to intercept a football as much as you'd think, oh, it's right there, go get it. But when you're dropping back, like I think he was surprised, frankly, that the ball was even thrown to him because there wasn't really a receiver in his space.
So third down here with 1:07 to go. The Dinos offense stays on the field. They're at the 22 of the Golden Bears. It's going to be third and about 8. Sananas in the pistol. 3 to his right, 2 to the left. Catches the snap, blitz coming. He rolls to the right, gets it out to the flats. Catch made, working upfield. It's going to be enough for a first down and more as Zach Smith continues the Dinos drive.
We got another player down, it looks like, for Alberta, but Dinos continue to have sex and move this football. They're just running out of clock, unfortunately.
This is the best this fourth quarter is the best we've seen this Dinos offense all season long. Would you not agree, Drew?
I mean, it's certainly the most consistent. You know, I'm using that word a lot, both in the positive and the negative perspective. But you know, that's what the Dinos need to work on. Talked about playing fourth quarters. They didn't accomplish that today, but they are at least showing that they are capable of doing it. I'm just not exactly sure how you take that, turn it into a positive, and learn to replicate it. You know, there's a term that's used early and often, right? And the Dinos were neither early nor often. But for the Golden Bears, they absolutely were. They were the exact opposite. They were early, they were often, they made it happen. In the second half, you know, they really slowed up. I think, you know, injuries might play a role in that. You get up quite a bit. It's hard to maintain that intensity when you come out and you have such a handle lead.
First and 10 here from the 11-yard line for the Dinos. 59 seconds remain in the game. Sananas drops back, looks over the middle, the ball batted down, and that's going to fall incomplete. We have a final from another Canada West game tonight. Manitoba picks up their first win of the season. They beat UBC by a score of 21-16, so I'm sure they're happy out there to finally pick up their first win after, you know, coming into the season rated number 6 in the country.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see them off to such a poor start. I think most people would agree with that. But, you know, that's Canada West in a nutshell, in my opinion. This conference is always so competitive, and year to year, you often have no idea who's going to do what, certainly in the middle of the pack.
Second and 10 here, a slight roll to the left. Pass coming into the end zone, caught for the touchdown! Number 2, Zach Smith, finally gets a ball in his hands in the end zone, and the Dinos are up to 21 points tonight.
Yeah, Sananas just throws a good ball to the outside, over top of the defender. Receiver has a nice route, gains some separation, and I mean, truthfully, a pretty easy pitch and catch.
That's a nice ball.
Yeah.
Cool.
Threw it where he's supposed to. Defender gave him a little too much space.
275 and 2 TDs now for Sananes, who started this game and looks as though he'll close it out as well. Does this give him maybe a little bit of space between him and Spallettini after, a really good second half against the Rams last week and a really good second half this week as well?
Yeah, I think from what I've seen, live on tape, statistically, I think Sananes is separating himself and taking that leadership role. I mean, at the end of the day, his stats aren't bad. There just hasn't been enough team effort and team success today.
And they get the 2-point conversion as Desjardins in the end zone makes it a 11-point game with 48 seconds to go.
I'm assuming we're going to get a chance to see an onside kick here, which is always fun to watch.
That's just a curl route, wide open in the end zone that time.
Yeah, way too much space by the Alberta secondary. But, focusing on Sananes there, you see him stand in, looking calm, delivering a good football. That was a great drive. Again, arguably a little too late, but in some ways there's still a lot of time on the clock. So, Calgary can recover this football and be efficient. You never know.
Zach Smith up to 106 yards receiving on 7 catches and 1 touchdown. He leads all receivers in the game in yards tonight. Let's see what kind of magic the Dinos can work here on the kick.
Well, the Bears are definitely expecting a short kick based on their alignment. Dinos line up in more of a regular standard set, so if it is a short kick, they're trying to conceal it.
It's somewhat short, but too deep as the Bears will get it and just fall on top of it. That's number 18, the running back, Michael Delgado. So 44 seconds remain. The Bears have the ball and have an 11-point lead and should just be able to run out this clock.
Yeah, it looks like the Dinos were going for a sky kick attempt and maybe a little too far downfield. Good job by Alberta, just controlling the football, falling down. Nothing wrong with that. That's the smart play. See if you can run out the clock as much as possible here.
Yeah, for sure.
Here we are. We're here with quarterback Daniel Sananes. What's it like to see Zach Smith get rewarded after a couple of really nice receptions tonight?
Zach Smith's a baller. He's a great player, young, a lot of work, but superstar, stud. I mean, we're just a young team, so we got to stick together and really focus and strong next week and just finish off the game here and work up to next week's practice and just stay in the grind and focus up. But yeah, Zach Smith, stud. It's awesome for him. I'm really happy for him. I'm proud for him. He deserves it.
Great final quarter. You guys are fighting the clock now at this point. What building blocks do you think you can take away from this one?
Definitely keeping our energy. We kind of lose energy when things don't go our way. So it's main focus would be to, stick with the guys, keep the energy up, keep the ball rolling, and just stay focused.
Thanks, Daniel.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks.
Thanks, Cammy, and a great second half from Daniel Sananes, and a good interviewer as well. You just kind of see those leadership qualities even in a young quarterback.
Certainly had more to say than their tight end did on the previous interview, but he's talking about them getting down when things aren't going their way, and that's actually feedback that I've received specifically from various alumni, etc. Watching certainly the game against Saskatchewan 2 weeks ago, was just how flat the Dinos were on the sidelines. And it's not easy to do, but you have to find a way to stay positive, to stay up, to stay excited, because we're seeing it somewhat here today. They proved it last week against Regina. It's not over till it's over, but as soon as you assume that it is, you get flat, you kind of lose that belief. It's over.
Yeah, absolutely. And you did point it out at one point, I believe it was late in the second quarter, that they already seemed to have just lost a step, lost a little bit of jump, but then they gained it back here in the second half, outscoring the Golden Bears by a score of 15-1 here in half number 2.
At the inadvertent whistle, White has chosen to reset and redo the play. We'll reset the clock to 43 seconds. 43 seconds, second down.
So the refs blew the whistle immediately instead of letting the Golden Bears run out some clock there. Second down here with 43 seconds to go. So he's going to stay up as long as possible, then take a knee, take the clock down to 39 seconds, and that'll bring up third down. As the punting unit will have to come out here. And the Dinos are saying, so you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to do everything they can, and I'm curious to see if it's a block attempt or if they want to go for the big return.
.39 seconds still remain here. And the thing is, the Dinos now just one passing yard less than the Golden Bears here in the second half between the two quarterbacks, which seems crazy to me with how the second half, or the first half went for the Golden Bears. But Sananas has had a really, really good half here, and we'll see if he can build on it going into Manitoba next week.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a bit of equal and opposites what I was talking about with the Dinos being flat. You get ahead like Alberta did in the first half, and it can be hard to maintain that killer instinct, if you will. That's why, I actually fully expected to come out and truthfully just try to run up the score, because it's kind of one of those things where it's all or nothing, right? You either keep your foot on the gas or it ends up on the brake. There doesn't seem to be much in between. The cruise control doesn't work on the football field.
Well, and we saw it with the Huskies a couple weeks ago. They, for the most part, through the third quarter, kept their foot on the gas and then brought in the replacements, the secondary players, pretty early in the fourth quarter there.
Yeah, I think a bit of a different situation there. Now, we've seen a lot of good things out of Alberta, so, it'll be interesting to see them and how they match up against Saskatchewan. I mean, the Huskies certainly looked like a former Vanier Cup team from last season. Alberta looks great. There's a big difference between good and great, as we've discussed, and great is what gets you to the Vanier Cup. But Alberta's gaining momentum here, back-to-back solid performances. They've got a really good chance to give Saskatchewan a run for their money in Canada West.
Final 20 seconds here as the punting unit comes out for the Golden Bears, who will move to 2-1 on the season, while the Dinos will fall to 0-3 unless a punt return probably happens here. Full-on block, doesn't quite get there. Punt caught at the 50 and taken down right around midfield with 11 seconds remaining here in the game.
Fortunately for the Dinos, they can go into the locker room at the end of this game feeling a little bit better about the second half, learning what not to do in the first half, barring a couple drives and the odd, bright spot, and a little bit more of what to do and hopefully carry that into practice next week, carry that into their game next weekend. U of A, on the other hand, they're going to be feeling good, but they got beat up today. I mean, the Dinos did too, but Alberta's, got that longer-term potential right now at 2-1. And I think they're going to have to really figure out, okay, how many of these injuries are injuries and how many of them are just, someone's hurt, we'll be back next week, not a big deal.
Yeah, it's their top receiver, Chevy Thomas, caught a touchdown and hurt his knee, hasn't been back, had 6 receptions for 96 yards in that first half. Hopefully not as serious as it looked as he walked off the field, because that would be a huge blow to them. I mean, Herford, just the 2 receptions again. I mean, he only had the 4 last week for 3 touchdowns, but 70 yards and a touchdown as long as being 65. He's that big play, take the roof off the defense kind of guy, and most offenses need something like that.
Certainly. But, the big question is, and I admittedly don't know the answer, is what kind of depth does Alberta have? Great teams tend to have guys waiting in line that can come in and fill in and make things happen. So, that's what we'll see play out over the second half of the season for Alberta.
Crossing route here on what will be the final play of the game. Gaining some yardage and battling and taken down. That will do it as Dang finishes off the game. The Dinos with a great second half, but cannot come all the way back. They lose to the University of Alberta Golden Bears 34-23. Drew, it's there's a lot to build off on that second half, but you know as well as I, it's still a lost football game, and they're not going to be happy about it.
Oh, no, certainly. But, a win's a win and a loss is a loss, no matter how you slice it. And, the Dinos cannot be happy at 0-3. I know they came in a young team and expected it to be a challenging season after missing the playoffs last year, but I certainly believe that they expected to be in a better position than 0-3 to start the season. For the Bears, I think they got to be pretty happy with how their season started. 2-1, they're in a great position to succeed.
And we now head down to field level as Cami Kepke is with the Golden Bears quarterback Eli Hetlinger.
Right back down here with the man of the hour. Your team moves to 2-1. What do you hope your squad can take away from this win?
We played well in a lot of facets. We have a lot to clean up in the second half for sure. So we're going to take away the good plays and then on film tomorrow review it and make the corrections needed going forward into Saskatchewan next week.
The victory is coming at quite a cost with a number of key injury to your side. What kind of impact do you think that's going to have?
We don't know what's up with them yet. Hopefully they could heal up and get healthy. So we'll stay optimistic, keep them up spiritually, and support them as the teammates we are.
And those last couple of seconds, I saw you going around and congratulating your teammates. Is there anyone who you feel has impressed you or taken a step forward in the first 3 games of this season?
It's hard to pick just one guy. They've all been we play as a team. We all give our success as a team and say we all did it, and we don't focus on individuals, and that's one thing we do well. So I'd say everybody.
And it's a team that may be subverting some expectations so far this season. How excited are you for the opportunity to see how you stack up against the Saskatchewan Huskies next week?
Oh, we're going to be very excited. They're a good team, but we're going to prepare hard and look to execute come game time.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cami. Great job on the sidelines as great coverage throughout the entire day. We are about to wrap it up here. Next week, it is the Dinos in Manitoba on Saturday, and that game of the week, Saskatchewan at Alberta. So it's going to be a huge battle, and it's going to be probably the top 2 teams in the Canada West.
Arguably, Regina has surprised, so we'll see what they can do, on their own accord. But I'm impressed with Hetlinger and his humility. He gives it to the team, and that's the right attitude to have. It is a team game, and especially a program that over the last decade has been on the upswing. You want to maintain that focus of team effort. I think the Dinos could learn a thing or two from that.
And Cami, just one final thing before we let you go. Obviously, a better second half for the Dinos. Was the mood up the entire time, or did they have to kind of build on that because it seemed like maybe they were a little bit down going into that halftime?
It really depended player to player, honestly. You could see that, whenever one player would go down with injuries, their teammates would still step up for them, be there, come over to the table they were being worked on, congratulate them for giving their all in this game. And you could see the quarterback still spirits very high, very complimentary of his teammates, and they really think that there are some good pieces here that they can work with. Again, it's just that consistency and keeping it simple while they start to build into something stronger.
Thanks so much for everything tonight, Cami. You absolutely killed it, as we knew you would.
Appreciate it.
Drew, that basically wraps up game number 2 for us on the season. We'll be back later in the season, but an away game for the Dinos next week, and we look forward to that. Hopefully they can get win number 1 on the books. For Drew Carpenter and Cami Kepke, I'm Riley Pollock. Special thanks to our spotter up here in the booth, Roy Tanwani, and we'll be back in a couple weeks' time for more Canada West football. You've been watching Dinos and Golden Bears on TELUS Optic and Canada West TV.